Ladies and gentlemen, we here at the Culture Warfare Podcast sincerely apologize. There's a lapse of judgment or mistakes. We promise we won't do it again. We will try to get better next time, and we seek to improve every week. And we sincerely hope that you can forgive us for our trespasses. Last week, we did not release an episode, and we are terribly, deeply sorry. Won't happen again. Welcome to Culture Warfare. Thanks for being here, guys.
Talking about what the was that? What was that?
You forgot your ukulele.
What did you just do?
It's a YouTuber apology.
Yeah. It says an apology for last week's break.
Bro,
We're keeping that in, but we're bleeping your word that you used.
that I was not expecting you to do that, but
Keeping it. Thank you guys for being here. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We really appreciate you taking your time and checking us out this week. Don't forget, before we get started, to subscribe and like the video, comment, share with your friends. All that stuff helps us in the algorithm. We're going to be going all over a lot of heavy stuff today, so if this happens to get taken down by YouTube, it will be over on Rumble and Spotify. So check that out if you guys feel so inclined.
yeah, we're always on the audio platforms like Apple Podcasts and Spotify and a couple others. But yeah, we just started our Rumble account, so yeah, if it does go down on YouTube, which who knows, it might. But we'll be over there, so yeah, look out for that. And if it's not right away, then it'll be coming soon. So yeah.
So this week we have...
Wait, time out. Did you ditch our actual like official intro for that?
Yeah.
Like you didn't even do like the play nice in the comments?
No, the YouTuber apology is the opening. It's funnier that way. Stop
Yeah.
ruining the flow.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
we
so...
had flow?
No.
When did that happen?
We didn't.
Why were we gone last week?
I was gone on vacation. I am back now, and hopefully look a little bit more tan on screen.
You look a little more bloody too. What happened?
Yeah, I did. I got my teammate tried to see if friendly fire was on in volleyball last night, and I got smoked in the face, and my glasses gouged my eyes out. So,
oh, it happened with your own glasses?
yeah, I did. It was a hard hit too. I was surprised that a volleyball did that to my face, but I guess it happens. But anyway, yeah. So this week it
wasn't just Mitchell that was gone last week. Why we didn't do an episode? We also had we had some unfortunate life events happening last weekend as well. I was pretty sick, and Luke, you were moving last weekend, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just didn't
Big
end up
move.
working out.
Yeah. So
sorry about that. Actually, I'm not really sorry. I don't really care. But
yeah, me and Luke didn't have fun, but Mitchell was having a great
I
time.
was having a great time on the
boat.
beach.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of things that happened in the since last we recorded. There was the fun stuff in Minnesota was still going on, the Alex Prettie stuff.
Yeah.
So we never got to talk about that last week, but that's long gone.
Our official stance is we don't care.
Basically, yeah. That's
yeah.
pretty much how you could sum that up. Is yeah, we really don't care.
The DOJ released tons, like millions of entries into the Epstein files, and then immediately started redacting a ton of them. So
yeah, unless you've been living underneath a rock, you have logged into any social media and you've seen tons of Epstein stuff. So we thought we would go through and try to figure out what's, real and what's not.
Kind of hit the big points. I mean, there's literally millions
Yeah,
of
there's
documents,
so many.
so it's hard for anybody to really know what is going on.
And try to figure out kind of like what it means, more or less, for like the
Yeah,
American
because
people.
of course there's no context to any of this
No.
stuff. So I mean, you can read something and it's like, okay, that's interesting, but what does this relate to? So
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff is like stuff most of us already pretty much knew. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like thank your local conspiracy theorist week, because like basically anything and everything that we've been talking about for the last like 15 years is kind of like pseudo confirmed, but
Yeah.
not confirmed.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot of BS going on through the DOJ and everything. So we're just gonna kind of comb through, do our best to give concrete things that we know for sure from the Epstein files, and kind of get an overarching like idea of what's actually in it and what it all kind of like means.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And of course, with all this stuff, do your own research. I mean, there's tons of stuff to go through, so don't take our word for it. Don't take anybody's word for it on anything. Do your own research and come to your own conclusions. But yeah, there's a lot of wacky, wild things in here, and we're just gonna give.
we did do a lot of research though. So
Yeah, but we're gonna give what we've kind of gathered and
our thoughts on it.
yeah, our thoughts on it. We'll obviously have more stuff coming out, as time goes on. But for right now, this is kind of what we got.
Yeah, and keep in mind too, like there's still more files that the government has. Like they released 3 million, I think.
Yeah, it was like 3.5 million documents.
I think I saw somewhere that there's 6 million total that they have. So there's still like
Yeah,
way more
right.
that they have, and a lot of it is like probably stuff that's way worse. So
Yeah.
that's also part of this too. Is like there could be more coming after this, but
Right.
yeah.
Um,
So yeah, we're just gonna jump into the Epstein files first right away, and then we're gonna get into some recurring bits again. And then we're gonna do a little fun, unrelated draft at the end of this episode. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, are we gonna do your? We're gonna do your bits right away first.
we're gonna do the videos first.
Okay. And so we're changing the name of Mitchell's recurring bit.
We're doing the weekly special. So I got two fun videos. One is
It's the same concept. We just changed the name from Retard of the Week to Weekly Special. We're trying to be more marketable here.
hopefully not lose sponsors.
Well, we can't lose anymore.
Yeah, we can't lose. We don't have.
Yeah.
So Luke, do you want to go to the artillery one first?
Do you need to set it up?
I don't know if there's really a setup. This is just kind of wacky. So go ahead and give it a play.
Oh, I've seen this.
What, are you just going to start an avalanche?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, control the avalanche.
This is just an average weekend in Russia, bro.
So for our audio listeners here, basically this is some dudes in some Slavic country. I'm guessing Russia because this just fits the bill for Russians. But they have a straight up artillery cannon pointed at a mountain, and
Beautiful landscape, by the way.
oh yeah, sweet. But they take this like artillery cannon, point it at this mountain, and shoot it at the mountain, and you can see the round detonate all the way up at the top, and it causes an avalanche.
Dude, that's so far away.
I know. Well, look at play it again and just see how long it takes for the shell to actually hit the mountain.
Yeah, dude, it takes
So
forever.
so they just fired it, and it hits now.
Oh my
that was like a good, probably what, 5 seconds?
Yeah, dude, how far do you think that is?
I don't know, cause I don't know the velocity of those things, but pretty crazy. Yeah.
Okay, but low-key, kind of how scary would that be if that was like 10 miles away, and it still got there in like 5 seconds?
Honestly, that probably is
It's
about 10 miles.
Yeah.
As the crow flies.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so that was that video. I thought that was just super cool and silly.
So controlled
avalanche with an artillery cannon.
Okay.
Super rad. This next one, just, I don't know. Let me preface this. I don't know if this is AI, but I thought this was mad funny, and yeah, you just go ahead and play it.
The red ring of death for Xbox. Thanks, Microsoft, for making us such a brilliant machine. Fuck you, Microsoft! Hey, Xbox, thanks. I hope you could refurbish this shit.
That is definitely not AI.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what makes you think that's AI?
The thing that made me think it was AI was the machine pistol in that guy's hand. That segment looked a little sus, but everything else checks out, and that is 100% something I would believe big army dudes over in the sandbox doing.
This is what I imagine Marines doing just all day long for the most part.
You know how I know this isn't AI? Because I completely understand the rage and frustration when getting the red ring of death.
Yeah, especially when you're in, like...
That's the only entertainment you have in the desert.
Where are they in this video? They're probably, like, in...
This is probably, like, Afghanistan or Iraq or something like that.
Yeah, they're just in the middle of
So
Middle East,
for audio listeners, army guy takes an Xbox and sets it up in the middle of the desert, and of him and his homies
Red ring of death.
Red
ring of death, dude.
Red ring of death, and they just mag dump it with all their guns, and now there's no Xbox, just a bunch of pieces.
This is where I want my tax dollars going to, actually.
That would be fun. Mag dumping into trash.
Dude,
in the middle of the desert.
100%. That would be the first. Dude, can you put yourself in their shoes right now? Like, that would be the first thing I would think of doing.
Oh yeah.
We have a useless Xbox.
Useless Xbox. You're bored on base one day, doing nothing. You're just sitting around waiting for, somebody to try to break through a checkpoint with a V-bid or something, and Xbox breaks, and you're like, dude, why don't we just blow it up?
Yeah.
Also, we got to get rid of this ammo for the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is like on the set of like Jarhead.
Yeah. So those are my two funny videos that I wanted to share this week. I thought those were fun.
Those are 2 weekly specials.
2 weekly.
But there was no special involved.
Yeah, but the special implies that it could be anything. The special could be.
I thought special was aimed like special.
No, I mean special has different connotations depending on the context it's used in.
Okay.
So that allows me
to
expand my horizons.
So we're actually completely just ditching Mitchell's entire segment, and it's open for interpretation every single week. So
yes.
It literally is going to be like a weekly special. You just never know.
You never know what you're going to get.
It actually fits somehow.
What we got now? We jumping right into the files?
Yeah, I mean, I could try to find a meme of the week.
Meme of the week.
I would have to rifle through here really quick. I could find one very quickly. I have a whole list. Let's just do that so we can keep them going.
On Instagram? You know, to go to Instagram?
Yeah, we'll do a fun dad one.
Okay.
We'll do a fun dad one.
So go to Instagram.
This
Donald Trump don't trust China. I
This,
love how that one pops up every single time we open Instagram.
this one's parent normal. This is some wholesome dad meme content right here. This is real life, bro. This is real life, bro.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's so funny watching like my son. He's just like on the verge of like being able to like conceptualize time and how time works. And so like every time he's at that stage where he has to delay bedtime at like all costs. It's like his life's mission to delay bedtime. So it's always like a couple more minutes, Daddy. A couple more minutes. It's like, no. No, not a couple more minutes.
No, it's bedtime now.
You're gonna go to sleep and we're gonna do this exact same thing as soon as you wake up because it's the weekend now. He's like, no, we have to play for a couple more minutes, Dad. I'm like, dude, we're gonna do this as soon as you wake up. You go to sleep, you wake up, we're gonna be doing it again.
Yeah.
Nope. But it's a fight to the death. It's a fight to the death.
Kids are wonderful.
So for audio listeners, it was just if you've never seen the other guys, and Mark Wahlberg's just giving
Will Ferrell,
the
death stare.
The death stare is just yeah, that scene is like if you tell your kid you need one more minute, and then your kid for the entire minute. Yeah, sorry, verbal listeners. There's no way that they're gonna be able to see that in their head, but whatever. All right. Now for the serious stuff. And yeah, we're going to cover some dark things. We didn't put anything that was like, at least I didn't have anything that was like super dark in here. I mean, we're going to talk about them. Nothing that we're going to show is going to be super dark. But there are some very triggering language. So if that's something you're sensitive to, you might want to skip the whole Epstein part, and there should be, timestamps down below to kind of skip forward for you. But we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of the Epstein files and what we know so far. So,
yeah.
And you were gone for the drop, so
yeah, I get home.
How was your week?
I get home and I get off of the boat and I'm able to get back on, United States cellular connection. And first thing I do is I open up my text to see, who texted me or whatever. And then the second thing I do is what has happened since I've been gone. So I open Facebook and it's just Epstein, Minnesota, Epstein.
You
like,
left.
Whoa! What did I miss?
You left like right at like the. It wasn't. It was like shortly after the Alex Prettie stuff.
Yeah, it was literally the day of.
It was the day of the Prettie stuff.
Yeah.
So he missed all the whole Alex Prettie situation fallout, in that whole week, and then he also missed Epstein. So he comes back and he texts us because you didn't have service the whole time you were on the cruise.
Yeah.
And you text us when he gets back and he's like, so I guess the entire like left is like pro-gun now, and like the government just admitted that they're satanic pedophiles, and we're like, yeah, it was a big week, dude. Good week to be gone, I guess.
Yeah. Right.
But, yeah. Luke, you can go to the keynotes thing that I have, because I took all the stuff that's right there and I put it in the keynotes.
Keynote. Oh, look at that. You got a fancy little PowerPoint.
Oh, yeah.
Epstein files. Everything we know. Disclaimer and content warning. Who, what, where, and
I just spilled water all over myself.
He's got a hole in his mouth.
Yep.
Dude, on one of my Ubers down in Florida, I was drinking my water, and I'm sitting right behind the driver. I was drinking my water, and it went down the wrong pipe, dude. So I like coughed water behind this guy, and then I'm like trying not to die in his back seat. And I'm like, this guy probably thinks I have like COVID or something. He's gonna give me a bad review on Uber.
Oh, who gives a crap?
But
COVID.
it was pretty funny.
Can't you get like arrested for throwing up in an Uber?
Throwing up?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know that was a crime. Have you been arrested for throwing up in an Uber?
No, I thought I heard of someone getting arrested for throwing up in an Uber, or they
Well,
got like kicked out or something.
Did they merely throw up in an Uber, or were they so inebriated that they threw up in an Uber?
Yeah, because I could see
Yeah.
like maybe they were just causing a stir, and that was a thing that happened.
Yeah,
'Cause I
it was
can't
definitely
possibly
that, but I
imagine
don't
that,
know
like,
what's the
you-
difference.
I can't imagine you just get arrested for puking.
Yeah, but why would you? It's the same thing. I mean, if you're in an Uber and you're drunk, aren't you doing like the responsible thing instead of driving?
I suppose
It's
so.
true,
yeah.
but I don't know.
Maybe that's
it
completely
depends on
made
how
up.
they're acting, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if they're threatening the Uber or being, like harassing them or whatever, then I
Yeah.
could see that.
If they're like, you know,
All right, I guess if you're threatening someone and then you just, you kind of deserve to be arrested, you know?
Yeah.
or if they're telling them to get out of the car, like,
Yeah.
you're too wild, I'm not driving you,
Yeah.
and then they throw up. I don't know.
That
Yeah.
might have been something that wasn't fully true.
Yeah,
I don't
because
know.
I literally don't know how you could possibly get arrested for just puking. That doesn't make any sense logically. Regardless.
Okay, that was a side tangent.
Side tangent.
We did not need to go down that road,
No.
but here
But we
are.
did anyways.
All right. So I wanted to just start out with getting everything that we know for sure that's in the files.
Getting a baseline.
Getting a
if you will.
baseline, because there's been like so many different things. It's kind of like all like you're like, what the heck is going on,
Yeah.
type of thing. So I'm trying to put this slideshow together to get everything that we know for sure and just get a baseline, and then from there we can kind of go into the other stuff that can be taken from like the alleged stuff that happened
Yeah.
after this. So all right, so this is everything we know.
Mhm.
The who, what, where, and why kind of deal. Okay, so what is the Epstein files and what is it referring to? Essentially what it is, when people say Epstein files, they're most of the time referring to the high profile sex trafficking / child predator network. And the key points of that is it has strong ties to foreign and domestic intelligence agencies, and it suggests a global blackmail operation. Again, alleged, not proven, but there's strong ties to it, and this is kind of stuff why it matters. And the allegations include procuring services for the elite class, powerful political figures, and celebrities, subjecting minors to participate in selective genetic engineering, and kidnap / murder of children and infants for satanic sacrificial rituals. Again, those things are alleged, but there are things pointing to that in there. But overall, the Epstein network and Epstein case is referring to a sex trafficking ring. And when people say Epstein files, there's a little bit of a delineation there too. And specifically when you're hearing that coming from the government, when you say Epstein files, they're just talking about the documents that the FBI and the DOJ has on Jeffrey Epstein. And there's millions of documents, emails, flight logs, photos, videos, interview notes, and internal memos about the trafficking operation and the connection to powerful people. So this is the who of this, and this is everyone that is confirmed to be involved. And the head of the operation, what it's all named after, is this gentleman that y'all know, Jeffrey Epstein.
I would not give him the honor of calling him a gentleman.
You're right. This
Piece of trash,
thing,
to put it lightly.
this thing, wealthy financier, convicted sex offender, ran a network abusing underage girls at his properties in Florida, New York, New Mexico, and his infamous private island. He has been charged with sex trafficking a minor, sex trafficking conspiracy, recruiting and paying underage girls for massages, which is the code word of sex, and directing girls to abuse others. In 2008, he was convicted and tried for sex trafficking of minors and sex trafficking conspiracy in Florida, and he pled to a reduced state charge and served 13 months in prison for sex trafficking with unusual work release schedule followed by 1 year of loose house arrest where he was allowed to travel. So he basically went to jail, but he really didn't go to jail. Like,
Yeah.
he convicted of sex trafficking only gets 13 months in prison. While he was in prison, he was just allowed to leave during the day for work purposes.
Yeah.
And his job officially is he's just a financier. Like, where does he need to go?
Yeah.
But yeah, so he basically really didn't go to jail. It was a slap on the wrist for awful crimes in 2008. And then in 2019, which is when it kind of hit like the main.
Yeah, this was the big one that we all.
This is when we all started kind of finding out about it, and it started blowing up.
Yeah.
This is his federal sex trafficking indictment, and his official whereabouts currently is that he died in jail, and the official ruling is suicide. And
Allegedly.
This is where like the meme of
Insert Hillary Clinton joke here.
yeah, Epstein didn't kill himself, all that stuff, the meme stuff. This is 2019 when all this happened. And we'll actually probably touch on that later. I don't know if you guys saw some of the stuff floating around today and yesterday, but yeah.
About his demise.
Yeah, about his demise, yeah. There's some interesting stuff that I saw. But yeah, okay, we can go to the next one. Ghislaine Maxwell. And officially Ghislaine is like listed as a co-conspirator.
Yeah.
But after all of like looking into her and everything that she did, I didn't think that was fair to make her a co-conspirator. She did a lot of the heavy lifting, and she was involved very heavily in the entire operation. So I think it's kind of like a 1A, a 1B situation when it comes to Ghislaine and
Yeah,
Jeffrey.
it's the matriarch and patriarch of this demonic empire.
Yeah, she is. I don't know what's like the woman version of like Lucifer. She's just like that.
Jezebel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Jezebel or Lilith.
Yeah. Yeah. She was head honcho adjacent.
Yeah.
Okay, and her official description would be close associate and key recruiter and facilitator. She was formerly a romantic partner of Jeffrey, termed long-term fixer, main recruiter and enabler, established connections for Epstein to powerful circles. So due to her dad was a famous, not famous, but he was a very wealthy man with some loose ties to Mossad, and she grew up with a lot of powerful connections due to her dad being like a media mogul, I guess. And so she kind of was the go-between between those powerful circles and Jeffrey. And she was convicted of luring and grooming underage girls, arranging travel, and participating in abuse. So not only was she kind of setting everything up, getting the girls, getting the connections, she was arranging travel for these girls going places, and she also was participating in the abuse that went on. 2021, she was convicted of sex trafficking of a minor and related charges. She was sentenced to 20 years in prison. So Jeffrey Epstein, 2008, convicted of sex trafficking minor, gets 13 months on work release. And Ghislaine, 2021, gets 20 years.
Which is also still not enough. To be clear. To be clear.
Yes.
Better than 13 years, but might I add, still not enough.
So already we're only 2 slides in, we're already seeing some inconsistencies from the federal government. She's currently imprisoned at FPC Bryan in Texas. It's a minimum security federal women's prison. And her projected release date, 2037. If she doesn't somehow
Get out on work release.
kill herself,
Yeah.
That's Ghislaine. So this is something that a lot of people probably wouldn't know. This is getting a little bit deeper into everything. So the FBI in 2019, their internal emails confirmed that their list for co-conspirators was up to 10, if including Maxwell, as people that were helping, and involved in the network. And so the first 4, these are women that were identified in the initial 2007 indictment that Jeffrey Epstein had. Their names: Sarah Kellen, also known as Sarah Kellen Vickers, reemerged as an interior designer, married an ex-NASCAR driver, Brian Vickers, received money from the Epstein Victims Compensation Program, claiming she was also a victim. A federal judge called her a knowing participant and criminally responsible, but prosecutors still have not charged her. Number 2, Leslie Groff. She lived quietly, raised a family, described as reporting as Epstein's highly trusted New York assistant. Sued civilly by some accusers who said she scheduled massages, aka sex, for clients that turned into abuse. And those charges were dropped due to the compensation program. In 2021, her lawyer said federal prosecutors had formally told her that they would not be bringing charges. Number 3, Adriana Ross, no criminal charges, no conviction, longtime assistant, household employee who traveled with Epstein and was considered an insider. Public info suggests she kept a very low profile. Number 4, Nadia
Marchenko?
Marchenko.
Yeah.
Rebranded herself as a pilot, flight instructor, and aviation company CEO. Epstein called her his Yugoslavian sex slave, and she allegedly participated in the abuse of minors. She hasn't been criminally charged in the U.S. and has reportedly gone missing from public view since some of the newer file releases. So the key thing with these first 4 from 2007 is they received federal immunity for that case, because part of that deal of Epstein going to jail was that it was a non-prosecution agreement between Jeffrey Epstein and Florida, meaning he agreed to go to jail for sex trafficking and he would plead guilty as long as federally these 4 women wouldn't be charged. So he went to get a slap on the wrist from the government for child sex trafficking. And these 4 women got federal immunity for those crimes in 2007. All for, yeah, I don't know. It seems like a lose-lose for the government on like both ends. But yeah, so there that is. Then we have some more. So by 2019, the other thing is with that, by 2019, FBI listed a couple more people that they, from, victims coming out and claiming that there was other people involved. They had a list of up to 10, including Maxwell. So including those 4 women from the previous one. So number 5, we have Jean-Luc Brunel. I think that's how you would say that.
Jean-Luc Brunel.
Okay. Treated as one of the core international co-conspirators by French and U.S. investigators. He continued to run modeling agencies and, according to multiple accusers, supplied girls and models to Epstein. Arrested in France in 2020 and formally charged with drugging and raping a minor and related trafficking offenses. Found hung in Paris jail cell in February 2022, French authorities treated as a suicide. So,
we're starting to see a trend here. We did not mention it before, but Jeffrey was also found hung in his jail cell.
Yeah. Well, I think we did.
We said that he committed suicide, but not how.
Yeah, we don't have to go into the details. You probably all know the details of Jeffrey's death, allegedly. But, yeah. Number 6, Leslie Wexner. He was a billionaire, founder of Bath & Body Works, The Limited, La Senza, Victoria's Secret, and Study Group. So the first things that he founded was all like chick clothing and lingerie stuff.
Yeah.
And he also founded the Study Group. Give that a goog.
Goog.
You'll be shocked to find out what that is. It's a giant Jewish group dedicated to funding Jewish stuff. I spoiled it for you. But yeah, that's real. Widely discussed in DOJ/FBI materials as part of Epstein's inner circle, especially financially. Says he cut ties with Epstein around 2007 during the initial allegations. Has publicly condemned Epstein as abhorrent and claims Epstein misused his trust and stole from him. He has not been charged as a co-conspirator. Pressure now focuses on him as potential witness about Epstein's money and reach. Fun fact about Leslie Wexner. He essentially just let Epstein have all of his money, essentially. Like Epstein was like his power of attorney, like his sole power of attorney for a long time, which means that Epstein could just do whatever he wanted with Leslie Wexner's money.
Mm-hmm.
And Wexner also was like kind of like considered his like mentor, essentially, like brought him up. And yeah, there was something else I was going to say there, but I forgot about it for now. But yes. Then the other 3 are unidentified people from the files. So, and they're possibly overlap, but it's not confirmed whether it's overlap or not. So the other 3 listed is wealthy businessman in Ohio. Many outlets infer this is Leslie Wexner, but some are reporting suggests that the FBI's internal shorthand may have separated him from other Ohio contacts. So this is possibly another wealthy man from Ohio.
So the quotes these are from the document saying like, oh, wealthy businessman in Ohio.
This is according to FBI's internal emails.
Okay.
So
this is who the FBI is referring to these people as.
Yes.
is his wealthy businessman in Ohio.
Yeah,
Okay.
and like that's why some people are saying it's Leslie Wexner because he's from Ohio, went to Ohio State.
Yeah.
But they're suggesting that there's possibly another wealthy person in Ohio
Sure.
that was a separate contact because they didn't say that it was Leslie because they already named Leslie. Okay. Number 8 is a former assistant from New York. There's also suggestions that this aligns with one of the already known assistants, Kellen Groff or Ross, but the specific internal label is redacted, so we cannot map assistant in New York to one single name with certainty. So they already named one of the 4 assistants already. They were already known, but for whatever reason, this former assistant in New York, their name was redacted in the files, so they're not sure if this is an additional person in New York or not. What's going on?
Yeah, it's fine.
What?
So yeah, same thing as the wealthy businessman Ohio thing. Number 9, international recruiter / non-U.S. national. Media speculation focuses on another European fixer and scouts around Epstein, but the released FBI email simply mentions attempted contact with a foreign national believed to have arranged girls for Epstein abroad without putting the name. So, at least one more person that they know for sure is a foreign national.
Okay.
But unnamed. So, those are all the potential and / confirmed co-conspirators from the FBI.
Okay.
Now we're going to get into the whole government involvement.
This is a good one.
Yes. So, if you've been following it all, we've been going back and forth with the DOJ, the public, and the Trump administration from the beginning. Is before they got elected, all of them across the board were like, Epstein files, day one. You got it. For sure. Crying in the streets, going on podcasts, this whole media tour about how they're going to release it immediately, how it's the biggest priority. Then they get in office. And they're like, list? Epstein? Who's Epstein? I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
Dude, that Kash Patel Joe Rogan podcast was so funny.
It-
He's just sitting there squirming as Joe's like, what about the list? And he's like, list? What?
Yeah, the list that you went on this whole media tour that you were talking about, you just forgot about that? So I think what it really boils down to listen for yourself next time when they say Epstein list. They always go, there's no client list. They always say there's no client list. And I think that language is used on purpose.
It's specific, yeah.
It's specific language to try to fool people or just try to like misdirect people.
Yeah, there's probably not an official like document laying out all the names of everybody that has used Jeffrey Epstein, his services, but
there's probably not a specific list. No, but there's when people say they want to see the list, they're not talking about a specific list and the government's like there's no list. But we're talking about all the people who have contacted Jeffrey and used him for his quote unquote services. But yes, there probably isn't
an official
list. Like there's not like a QuickBooks somewhere
yeah.
that has all of.
But that's what they're saying. It's like, oh yeah, we don't have
Yeah.
a full document laying out every single person that has
Right.
purchased anything from him or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
They're not going to keep document of
Right.
that.
It's just purposeful language trying to misdirect boomers so they don't lose their boomer base, essentially, is what I think it is.
Yeah.
And I also think that the government really thinks that all of us are just that stupid.
Oh, they do. They think
And-
we're stupid.
And they've gotten away with it for so long that they don't really know any different, or maybe they're just that stupid. But anyway, we're going to get into some of the stuff. The head of the DOJ, people that are in charge, let's look at what they've been saying. So we have Pam Bondi. This is the U.S. Attorney General. She is the tippy top of the DOJ, which is the executive branch, essentially. This is Trump's second-hand man, allegedly.
Yeah, this is basically his head of the justice system.
Yeah, she's supposed to be putting people away. Okay, so this is the video on the left. This is her talking about the Epstein list that's on her desk.
These actual videos.
Yeah, you click on
The
it.
DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you
So this is like right after Trump got elected.
Yeah, the list is on her desk. She's got it.
She said the list is on her desk.
She's got it, man. Next video.
This is a couple months later. This is probably around July-ish when all this stuff started heating up again.
To that claim.
Senator Durbin, if you
Yeah.
listen to my entire clip on that, I said I had not reviewed it yet, that it was sitting on my desk along with the JFK files, the Martin Luther King files, and I said I had not yet reviewed it. And if you see our memo on Epstein, you will see, excuse me, our memo on Epstein clearly points out that there was no client list, our July 6th memo.
Oh.
Yeah. So she almost like this is why it's on purpose and important to pay attention to the language is she says if you listen, I said it was on my desk. And in the first video, it's specifically asking about the list on her desk.
Yes.
And she says, second video, if you listen, it was on my desk and I hadn't reviewed it yet. And then in the memo, if you can recall, we said that there was no list. So if you like just take that as face value, you're like, okay, well, she's just literally contradicting herself.
Yeah, that's charitable at best.
That's, yes, it's specific language, like we said, and it's just stupid wording in general. This is just like politicians speak. Do I think she actually literally had 3 million files on her desk? No, she did not have 3 million files on her desk. But the fact that she just didn't look at anything or, you know, it's just willfully just playing dumb is what I think it is.
Yeah.
And now they're just saying there's no list. But,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is Pam Bondi. She is doing a fantastic job at being the biggest clown in the U.S. government right now. Kash Patel, this is the FBI director. This is where the files came from. The FBI is the one who had all the files. So this is what he says.
Trafficked to other
besides
himself.
You're going to have to rewind this, Luke.
Trafficked to other
besides
himself.
Oh.
Just let it play.
Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information. None. If if there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one
For the information that we have
in the files.
in the case file.
Okay.
So Jeff Epp has not trafficked to anybody but himself.
You got charged for sex trafficking to no one.
Yeah. Okay.
So how does that work? I'm not really sure.
That's a bit interesting.
Because remember, he went to jail and was indicted on 2 separate occasions for child sex trafficking.
To himself.
To himself. And so was Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah.
And he's saying, yep, he just, those 3 million documents, he was just sending them around the world to himself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's Kash Patel. This is in July or September. So, yeah, he's lying under oath here. Because if you've gone through the files yourself for even 5 minutes, you'll see a plethora of evidence or emails suggesting that there were other people asking for young children and girls and stuff. So this is just a lie. This is just the FBI director lying under oath to the American public. You can go to the next one. This one is the most. This one makes me the most angry. This guy kind of like popped up out of nowhere, seemingly. I think they're just like showing this guy now because everyone's just sick of Pam Bondi. So they're like, all right, we need to get a dude up here. No one likes Pam anymore. We need to get a dude up here to change up the face of who's saying the stupid stuff. And he says some really retarded things here.
So, just to clarify, is the public going to learn the identities of the men who abused the girls with the information that you're releasing? And if not, why not? And then I have a quick follow-up.
I mean, you just baked in an assumption into your question that I have never said and I don't know to be true. Is the public going to learn about men that abuse these girls? Like, what does that mean? I mean, I don't understand what that means.
Well, I mean, they're the men who abused the young women through Epstein's.
Those stupid head nods.
Look,
are
we
those
said
too.
in July,
I was about to say.
infuriating.
And it remains as true today as it was in July. If we had information, we meaning the Department of Justice, about men who abused women, we would prosecute them, right? We talked about the work that we're doing. That's why I said that. I said this earlier. There's this built-in assumption that somehow there's this hidden tranche of information of men that we know about that we're covering up or that we're choosing not to prosecute. That is not the case. I don't know whether there are men out there that abuse these women. If we learn about information and evidence that allows us to prosecute them, you better believe we will. But I don't think that the public or you all are going to uncover men within the Epstein files that abuse women, unfortunately.
We're gonna
That was the
have
most
to-
retarded take
we're gonna
I've
have
ever
to
heard in my life.
Rewind and watch this, dude, because it makes me so mad. He keeps men. What are you talking about, men? Like he's incapable of like processing what the word men means and abusing women.
Yeah,
And,
he's like he's
he's
what
like learning words for the first time. Apparently, this freaking moron.
this guy's like incredulous that this whole situation is revolved around men abusing women, and he's just like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
Men abusing women?
Unless-
As if like multiple people haven't gone to prison for this already. And
unless he's talking about like all the people that were involved were just like children, and he's like, I haven't seen a single instance of women being abused. It's just all kids.
yeah, he's playing another semantic game.
Yeah, it's just so infuriating and stupid. It's almost like the DOJ is just learning about all these things in real time, like the American public. Like they
Yeah.
haven't seen past the redactions either yet, and they're
Yeah.
just like
They came pre-redacted to the DOJ.
they're just, they have all the files. They have 6 million files of photos, videos, all the stuff, hard drives. They have all of it, but none of that apparently.
He was acting like this guy was notifying him that men were abusing girls. He's like, what? Like he had just found out about it at that podium right there.
And he's so smug about it too.
Oh,
It's
dude,
just,
his head nods like he's like, retard? What are you talking about?
gosh,
It's like, F you, dude.
he has one of the most punchable faces I've seen. Like, it's almost a joke how, like, the more people that they get in to talk about this stuff, the more hateable, like, the next person is that comes along. It's just infuriating.
Yeah, it's like first we get Bondi, then there's Kash Patel, and then this guy. It's like, dude, how many retards could you pick for your cabinet?
Yeah, we have to deal with a blonde bimbo, an Indian man who's 4'8", and then this guy, this smug piece of crap, who is like,
Sorry, do not redeem the files.
this is like Mason Rudolph, just like in government form.
All right,
Yeah.
get this guy off screen. I don't want to see him anymore.
All right. So now that this Todd Blanche guy says, if we knew about men abusing women, we would prosecute them. So let's look at all the stuff that is actually in the files and the stuff that this guy apparently has never seen before. So this is powerful people that are specifically named, men specifically named by victims of alleged abuse. So let's go through them. Leon Black. He's one of the most heavily implicated Epstein-linked elites. Multiple women accuse him of brutal sexual assault in Epstein's New York mansion, including at one 16-year-old girl with disabilities. He denies all abuse and has paid large settlements and was forced out of key roles after Epstein ties emerged. So you'll notice a pattern with all these people besides their noses. They all deny any abuse.
Well, yeah, I mean,
And then they all get forced out of their positions and they pay settlements. So he denies that he did anything, but he paid these victims millions of dollars. So
yeah, it's a admission by omission,
yes,
basically.
yeah. Prince Andrew. This is a picture taken directly from the Epstein files. Prince Andrew was an alleged abuser of a trafficked teen, a longtime Epstein friend, and now the focus of new emails and photos that show their relationship was closer and longer lasting than he admitted.
Nah, dude, she just passed out. He's giving her CPR.
Regardless of whatever this is, there's no way that this is ever okay. Like,
yeah.
Like, if you saw someone doing this at, like, anywhere, you'd be like, what are you doing, dude? And then he's also named as a abuser of a trafficked teen.
Yeah, this guy's name's popped up since, like, we first found out about this.
Yeah, and there's a lot of these initial ones, because I just went off of what we know for sure. So none of this stuff is going to be, like, super new, but this is just kind of, like, our baseline of stuff so far. So this has been known for a while, but this is all stuff that's aimed at the DOJ's response of where they're like, men? We've never heard of men abusing women in any of our stuff. This is... There it is, right there.
Yeah. It's news to me.
It's news to Todd Blanche, too.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, next one. Alan Dershowitz, also been named. a lot of these initial ones come from Virginia Guffrey, who was like kind of the most prominent victim, and she named a bunch of people. So that's what a lot of these. She named a lot of these people. She said Epstein trafficked her to Dershowitz for sex multiple times between 2000 and 2002 when she was a teen. Alan Dershowitz, if you don't know who he is a lawyer who has represented Trump and Epstein.
Very famous lawyer. I mean, he's represented a lot of really powerful people in court.
Yeah. Yeah. Bill Clinton, we've also known about him for a long time. He's one of the most frequently mentioned people and politicians in the Epstein record, especially in logs, flight logs, photos, and emails with Ghislaine Maxwell. He was real tight with Ghislaine.
Yeah. There's tons of photos of them together.
Right. And in this picture right here, we have shirtless Bill Clinton in a hot tub with a teen victim. So anytime you see a redacted picture, it's a victim or someone who is alleged being a victim, and so that's why their faces are blurred out.
Yeah.
So yeah, there he is shirtless with a sex trafficked minor. Glenn Dubin, hedge fund manager, Virginia Guthrie, says Maxine and Ghislaine instructed her to have sex with him while she was underage. And then Glenn Dubin's former household manager testified about a 15-year-old Swedish girl who arrived at their New York home in 2005 sobbing, saying that she had been taken by Epstein and Maxwell, forced to have sex with friends of Epstein. Bill Richardson, he was a former politician in New Mexico, I believe. Victim claims he is someone she was sex trafficked to as a teenager, putting him in the same alleged hands-on abuser tier as Glenn Dubin, Marvin Minsky, and the Epstein record. He is currently dead. Marvin Minsky, victim was directed to have sex with him at Epstein's Island when she was a teenager, but there's no independent confirmation that sex actually happened beyond her account, and was never charged before his death. And he's also dead. You guys may recognize this individual, and you guys will not believe it. You guys won't believe it, actually. There's no way that you'll actually believe it, that this man pictured right here, Bill Gates, shows up in the Epstein files. And this is more new. This is new stuff. He shows up as a repeat dinner guest and would be a philanthropic partner of Epstein after his 2008 conviction, and as a target of some lurid, unsent draft emails in which Epstein claims he arranged Russian girls for Bill Gates and helped Bill Gates cover up an STI and supplied drugs to sneakily give his wife so that his wife wouldn't find out that he was being a little devious on Epstein's Island.
Bill Gates claims to this day that he has not been to Epstein's Island, so we'll see how that works out for him.
Well, yeah, if you haven't checked the news recently and what this absolute worthless piece of crap, his little role that he's been recently wrapped up in for this stuff, he essentially is alleged that he was banging Russian girls that Epstein gave to him, and then he reached out to Epstein to help him get antibiotics to sneakily give to Bill Gates' wife, unbeknownst to her, to cover up the fact that he contracted an STI. And so that raises a lot of questions, like Well, first of all, why? Remember, this is after Epstein was already charged for sex trafficking.
Yeah.
And so this is around 2013 when he's like partnered with him for philanthropy and stuff. And then he, contracts an STI from Epstein's girls. And then out of all the people that would be reaching out to Jeffrey Epstein for some sort of like medical vaccine thing, Bill Gates is reaching out to Epstein for them. He's like the vaccine guy.
He is.
Like he has like Ebola in a vial at his fingertips. He has them in his house all over, I bet. But he's reaching out to Epstein to get him antibiotics. So, yeah.
Cool.
Complete moron. And I believe that's the last one. Yeah. Now we can get into the more stuff that's just alleged and scary. So have you heard any of this stuff, or you guys have anything that you wanted to like specifically talk about?
The couple of photos that I have in here are what I had as far as the pulling from the docs and stuff like that. So we had one that was talking about, I believe it's a note from a victim where she discusses a little bit of her abuse and stuff like that. We also have a weird one that kind of references Donald Trump. I don't know exactly the context behind it. Again, like we said, there's a lot of parts or a lot of things in here that don't really have a whole lot of context, but are weird on their own. And then, yeah, lots of mentions of pizza in the docs. If you
Yeah.
wanna-
So the thing with the most recent documents, the thing that most people are kind of like pulling away from that, the most recent drop of documents is like all the more alleged stuff. And there's a lot of like stuff coming from people that were saying that they were abused. And there's a whole lot of concepts that are being alleged, like the genetic engineering.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, there's victims claiming, and a lot of evidence pointing to the fact that Epstein had this place called Zorro Ranch, where he was specifically trying to impregnate as many women as possible in a lab for superior genetics.
Yeah, like some straight up like demon stuff.
It's straight up demon stuff, and there's like some notes from minors, and the things that they're saying in like these like notes that they're creating are some of the most heartbreaking things that you'll ever read in your entire life.
So here's what this one reads. Controlled all by Jeffrey all the time. Get away from us all, or get away from it all, and go to New Mexico. What in the hell? This makes no sense. What about school? Behind the scenes. He is now controlling everything when it used to be Ghislaine who... Luke, could you zoom in a little bit on that? It's kind of hard. There we go. He is now controlling everything when it used to be Ghislaine who some days acts like she hates me. Secrets. All of them. I am tired of keeping this secret. I know people who are wondering, but I can't tell. I am exhausted. Broken promises. I don't understand why she is fearing or why she's treating me some days like I am the enemy, but then we lay in bed together and she is how she used to be, warm. He makes me feel my tummy, and it is so sad and confusing. Superior gene pool? Why me? It makes no sense. Why my hair color and eye color? That feels very Nazi-like, but in thinking about these stupid, insane theories he has, I guess, in his mind, it makes sense. It makes sense. The piano and it's covered up by. The piano and music comments are made to convince me this is right, and it will create perfect offspring, he calls him. I don't think it works that way, and it's making me hate playing altogether. Piano or viola, I'm starting to resent them both. I miss the person I was before I was made into what feels like a human incubator. What does that even mean?
Well, I'll tell you what it means. There's actually confirmed scientists that talk about Jeffrey contacting them about uh, genetic engineering and trying to impregnate as many women as possible for genetic testing and superior gene pool stuff, which is odd because if you read this, you think, like it says, it feels very Nazi-like.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, Jeffrey Epstein is a Jew.
Yeah.
And if he picked a blonde-haired, blue-eyed minor for genetic engineering, for superior genetics, in some Nazi experiment, how does that make sense at all?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It's so out of this world, bizarro and psychotic.
And what it probably actually is just some sick thing that he had in his head and is just saying whatever to, manipulate this victim's feelings and play some sick game with them.
Yeah.
But scientists have confirmed that Jeffrey Epstein has talked to him about this specific thing. And so this is one of the more benign ones. There's some other ones I read that are horrible. Just reading, talking about these kids. They're kids, young teenagers. They're talking about being pregnant and having a child and writing down their feelings about being forced to have a child and then having that baby just ripped away from them immediately.
So look, if you go down, I have another one. Now this one's a bit strange. One more. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So this one is strange because it has Donald Trump's name on it. However, there is no context to this, and so I don't know what Donald Trump's relationship to this is, but I will just read it, and it's horrifying and disgusting, but it did have Donald Trump's name on it. Don't know what that means. Again, honestly, don't know. Let's see. Additional info. I am just wanting to reconnect with the original detective that called me, and I offered information about this. How is contact known? He was orchestrating a deal along with my uncle where different men and a few women and girls would come to a variety of boats and yachts to pay money to force me to do blank with them when I was 13 and pregnant. Now the blank is obviously a redaction. We don't know what that means. And then it says witness information, first name Donald, middle name, and then last name Trump, age 70. Additional info. Again, just trying to find out the NYPD detective on the FBI sex trafficking task force that called me a couple weeks ago and spoke to me about some of these issues. How was contact known? He participated regularly in paying money to force me to blank with him, and he was present when my uncle murdered my newborn child and disposed of the body in Lake Michigan. Yeah. I, again, don't know what any of that means. What's this in reference to?
Well, this one, I believe, came out around Christmas time. It was during that dump of files.
Mm-hmm.
And this one's kind of weird. So if you scroll up to the top one, I believe when this first came out, the top one is referring to Jeffrey as the contact. This is referring to Jeffrey, along with this victim's uncle, would force this victim to go to boats and yachts and pay money to force this person to what we can assume is sexual acts with them when I was 13 and pregnant. And then
13 and pregnant,
yes.
by the way.
And then the second one, the second paragraph, this is Donald Trump, and this is witness information. Same victim.
So Donald Trump is theoretically a witness here to this, is what I'm gathering.
Yeah. But it also says he participated regularly in paying money to force me to. I think when it first came out, this is when you could like copy paste over the redactions, and I believe it said something about oral sex with him. Is how I remember. But now they went and redacted everything, so we'll never know unless you have a photocopy of it. But I believe that was what was inferred there. And then it says that he was present when this 13-year-old pregnant victim, their uncle, murdered their newborn baby, and then they disposed of it in the body. They disposed the body of the newborn in Lake Michigan.
Yeah, beyond disgusting and evil and depraved, I don't think there's words that the human language or English language has for this kind of depravity.
And this is, let's just pretend for a moment that it doesn't say something about Donald Trump forcing a 13-year-old to have oral sex with him. Let's pretend it doesn't say that. It says something else.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't, imply that he was doing that. But it does specifically say that he was there when someone yanked a newborn from a 13-year-old that they were forced to carry,
Mm-hmm.
and was present when they dumped that body of the newborn in Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
And how does that not incriminate him in some sort of way?
Yeah.
Like, if you're here and you're still like MAGA and you're like, oh, Trump would like never is like Trump's going around saying like the more files come out, the more it proves that I'm innocent. And I would say, on the contrary, sir, this is raising a lot more questions about you being innocent.
Yeah. The fact that his name is on this page is interesting to say the least. Again, I don't know if that means that he was witness to this or
Yeah, it's saying
what?
that he was a witness.
Okay.
At minimum. And depending on what is underneath that redaction, was a participant.
Yeah. So who knows?
I think the administration has tried to come back and say that the person that is saying these things was an unreliable source. This victim was an unreliable source and was like crazy essentially, but
we do a little victim blaming here. And then
let's just say she is crazy. What do you do you think you'd be okay in the head? Let's just have a little bit of imagination here. Let's say the things that she's alleging are correct. Do you think she'd be a little nuts by the time she was older? If she was
of this,
because of this situation.
Course.
Yeah, she's probably not okay in the head, you know. She was forced to have a child at 13 and then watch that child get dumped in a lake.
Yeah, I don't know how that wouldn't jack you up. So yeah, of course.
Yeah. Disgusting.
Luke, if you go up
again, they have no they have no evidence, or they have never even heard about men
Yeah.
abusing anyone in these files.
Right. So go up to this, and then you're gonna really have to zoom in because these are hard to read. So an interesting thing about these is that there are over 900 references to pizza in these new batches of files. This goes back to
This goes back to Pizzagate.
it goes back to Pizzagate, which I don't remember kind of when that started surfacing. Probably 2015, 2014, 2015 maybe?
I
Or
have no
earlier
idea.
than that.
It was like the QAnon.
Yeah, it
thing.
was a while ago though, and it's in reference to, you know, sex trafficking rings and whatnot in New York City, I believe. Uh, Basically, what it boils down to is weirdos using
Code names
code
for
names
children.
regarding to pizza for victims and stuff like that. So here's a couple of references to that. There's 900 of these or more, so these are just a few weird ones. So this is an email from Daphne Wallace to Jeffrey Epstein. May I bring in your slice of pizza to you? Respectfully, Daphne. This one's from somebody named Mike. No pizza for breakfast and go do your HW, maybe homework. Take care, Mike. Let's see here. I didn't do it. Here is my joke of the day. What does a gynecologist and a pizza boy have in common? They can smell it, but they can't taste it, or they can't eat it. Gross. And then I believe there's one more. Yeah, here we go. Alert. Send pizza to Bobby. So, yeah, the pizza is obviously a very big theme in a lot of this stuff. And again, it goes back to the whole Pizzagate scandal and, you know, them using code words and stuff like that for victims regarding or referring to them as, you know, different variations of pizza and stuff like that.
Yeah, this is some of these stuff. I've seen stuff that are way worse.
Mm-hmm.
In that there's no context for type thing. Because if you go and research this online and you find anyone that's a detractor of this type of stuff or claiming that the Pizzagate thing is like still conspiracy theory, they all try to say, well, like, no, this was all is all referring to actual pizza.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I've seen other things out there where it's like it's just so weird and off the wall where it's like they're not there's too many times that they mention this for it to be.
Yeah, it's not coincidence.
It's not coincidence. And there's also other stuff of like there's a lot of stuff about eating babies, which people say, like, if you go, I've looked at all like the detractor stuff too, and they're like, oh, they're talking about actual food, and like, yes, it's weird, but like they're talking about actual food, and it's like who in the right mind like even like talks like that kind of thing, like referring to like babies tasting like cream cheese, or like cream cheese and babies being on the same level of like taste. Like, it's just sick, disgusting things to even joke about, you know? Like, it's just.
Yeah, and again, we're trying to keep it as tame as we can. Like, obviously this stuff is sickening, but there's far worse stuff in here than this, but obviously we don't like want to share like the most abhorrent things on here.
Yes, and a theme with all the newer redactions is they just like cover up names of where these emails come from, so they protect all of the people that are alleged abusers
Yeah.
throughout the thing. They're
So-
very good about that, redacting all the people that are, alleged saying awful things.
So there was, I believe, when they released these, there was about 13,000 references. So you can actually search by word or phrase or whatever in the files to sift through it a little bit easier. I think when they were released, there was about 13,000 references to Rothschild in the files when they were released. And I believe now they're down to about 10,000 references. So they are quickly trying to bury as many references to the Rothschilds that might be bad as they can right now. So
Yeah.
that's an interesting point.
Yeah, and also another interesting thing is they're very good about protecting the people that are potentially offenders.
Which they said they were not going to do. They was only supposed
Right.
to be victims.
But the thing about that is they actually didn't redact some of the victims' names that were not on, like, that hadn't come out yet.
Yeah.
So they protected all the people that were potentially offenders, but the victims that they said that they were going to protect, they didn't redact. There was like I think, I don't know. I saw somewhere there was a couple thousand instances of where they did that.
Yeah.
And so they had to go back through and re-redact those. So they're like doing the opposite of what they said that they were going to do.
Yeah.
It's like the people, it's already horrible. You might as well give us everything.
Yeah.
And just the only thing we don't need to see the victims' names, and we don't need to see the victims' faces. Or
that's it.
Yeah, that's really
everything else can be unredacted. They won't do that though because they need to keep those people protected.
Yeah, and this is what is horrible about it. I mean, they're under law, right? Like the law was passed that they were supposed to give us all of it, and they're just not doing it.
Yeah, I know. And again, it goes back to what I said a couple episodes back. They will not incriminate themselves. It doesn't make any logical sense for them to incriminate themselves.
Well, even then, it's just like even the people that are in the DOJ, like, do we have to really go as far as to now we have to believe that like Pam Bondi and Kash Patel and like all of every single person is on there? Like, I wouldn't go that far, but like they're obviously protecting someone.
Yeah, they may not be protecting themselves, but they're definitely playing or batting for somebody.
And it's most likely donors.
Yeah.
And people of a certain origin.
Yeah.
That control everything.
So where do we go from here?
Yeah. And what is your kind of main takeaway from seeing all this stuff? I mean,
my main takeaway, basically the entire ruling class is evil, disgusting, and needs to be held accountable.
Yeah,
that's basically the main takeaways I've gotten.
Yeah, at minimum. There's no middle ground there. Like,
no, unfortunately this is a bipartisan issue, so hopefully we can get enough support to do something.
I don't think it's happening. I really don't think it's going to happen. I
don't think so, but we can always hope.
I've already seen Kash Patel came out today and said that there are no new investigations after seeing all the Epstein files.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I've seen a video of Todd Blanche saying that they are not going to, unless they get more files, they're not going to open up any new investigations. They're not going to go after anyone.
Well, of course, because there's no men abusing women.
So they're admitting to they've seen all the names, they've seen everything that's in these files, and they're like, yeah, there's nothing here. And you'll notice a thing with these investigations is they are so surface level. They just get a statement from the victim, and then that's the end of the investigation.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so tell us what happened. Okay, that's nice. Thank you.
Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. Have a nice day.
Yeah. It's like, great. What an awesome.
Get a
help you
load
are.
of that chick. She was crazy, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's horrible. It's horrible. So they've outright admitted that they're not going to do anything about this.
Yeah.
They straight up told us we're not doing anything about it.
Well, I mean, they kind of admitted that from the start. It's just, nothing is happening. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Again, they aren't going to incriminate themselves, so why would we expect anything to get done?
So that's kind of where we're at now. Is like, all right, where does the American public go from here? Because and we've been saying it for a long time. A lot of people have been saying it for a long time. Is they're not actually going to do anything about it, and we've all known that. Anyone with half a brain has known that.
Yeah.
So where does that kind of leave us? Like it obviously, I don't think it's right to just like sit and do nothing, you know?
Yes. However, I don't believe that with all this stuff that we've seen, there is very little definitive things we can go off of to get people in trouble because everything's redacted. So, first of all, we need to figure out how to get everything unredacted so that we can actually see names and stuff like that.
Right.
Once we do that, then it opens the door to getting perpetrators held accountable for, things that they have done.
Do you think that's ever going to happen? Do you think
It's hard to
at the
say.
rate that it's going now, do you think it's ever going to actually happen?
It's hard to say. I don't actually think right now. We're still waiting on what, 2.5 million more documents that they say that they have.
That they say that they have, yeah.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, they've had these documents for years. So
Since
who
2019.
Who knows what they had in total? And it's completely gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, that's just what we know of.
Right.
So, yeah, we need to get the rest of the documents, all of them. We need to see them all completely unredacted. Once those things happen, then we can see, about getting people actually prosecuted for this.
But like the
But as
government
far
is
as
not going to
getting-
do it.
Yeah.
They're not going to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. It might. Honestly, I don't know.
At the very least, this is the federal government's game plan with everything is they just suck at everything that they do.
Mhm.
And they slow play everything. Like the whole system is designed to slow everything down. And yes, we live in a society where we want information now. And yes, that's bad in some areas, but like this is something that the government's been wanting to see, or the population has wanted to see for a long time.
Yeah, and I get it that these kind of things take time. I mean, what, 6 million documents? That's a lot to go through. So I get it. I get that it's going to take a long time for them to sift through, but when
How long could it possibly take?
Well, I don't know. How much staff does the FBI have, or the DOJ or whatever?
I would think that they would have plenty. Like they could honestly put all this stuff into they have access to who knows what kind of technology. Just put in, here's all the known victims, cover up their names.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then they have another team going through the pictures that is just covering up faces of victims. That's it. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Here's a picture of this victim's face. If every instance of this person's face, redact the face, redact the name.
Yeah.
That should take a week.
Yeah.
Realistically, for normal people, and then you have someone review it, and then it goes out the door. It should be real time.
Yeah.
They're not going to do it though. So how does the public,
I don't know.
like, do you realistically think if everyone came together and were like, this is the number one priority, which it already is for most people,
Mhm.
we have to get this figured out.
The thing is like there's no like actual. I feel like traditionally in America, when the public is upset about something, they want to see change or whatever, we protest. It's our First Amendment right. I don't see any protests about this. I don't see massive crowds of people at the Capitol or, you know, whatever, protesting with signs, unredact the files or whatever.
I really don't think that a protest of in that manner would actually create any change. I don't think any sign
That's a first
holding,
step.
That's a sign holding doesn't actually change anything. It doesn't actually do anything, in my opinion.
I don't know. I mean, if you make people's lives inconvenient enough, change can get done. We've seen it through the entire history of our country.
I don't think they can do anything. I don't think even if there is good people in the government or in these agencies that want to do the right thing, I don't think they can. I think
Yeah.
this whole operation, it's a Mossad operation. Like, it's as close to being proven as you can without saying both Ghislaine and Epstein were Mossad agents. Like, it's that close of, like,
So then what? You know,
and with all the, you know, Israel donors that control all the politicians, like, they're not even hiding it anymore. Like, the influence that Israel has over American politics is insane.
so then what do we as American citizens do about a whole foreign entity? There's nothing we could do. Can't just go protest it. We can't all just fly over to Tel Aviv and tell them, "Hey, stop doing this."
No, we can't. Yeah, so that's
So-
what I mean. Where is it? We're just supposed to sit and do nothing.
I mean, unless yeah, basically. Either that or people just start shooting people. Those are the only two options, and neither of them are good. So, what do you do? But then at the same time, how do you determine who gets punished? We don't actually know. So,
Right. Yeah,
then what?
I
We can't-
think the only form of peaceful protest, and we talked about it before in a couple episodes. The only thing I could realistically see that would actually work in a real protest is like a mass tax protest. Like, if enough people stop paying taxes, I think
Yeah.
that would be the only thing that actually hurts the government enough to be like, well, we have to do something.
Yes, but then like how many people are W-2 employees that can't really just not pay taxes? It just automatically comes out. So what do those people do?
You can claim 0
Yeah.
and then file taxes like all other business owners, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Like, I think that would be enough to like really freak them out.
Yeah, I mean, if they stop, their money flow stop. Well,
And think
they'll
about
just
where
print more of it anyway. So.
Well, think about what we're actually paying for with our taxes anyway.
Foreign nations.
Yes,
basically.
it's going straight
That's about
to
it.
Israel. It's going straight to Israel. I saw something the other day. Did you see this? It's like if you received $50 million a year as a salary
Mhm.
from the time that Jesus was born to present day, you as an individual receive $50 million a year.
Mhm.
That still would be only a third of what we've sent to Israel since 1943 or
Nice.
1948.
That's cool.
Think about that.
That's a lot of money.
A third.
Yeah.
In 80 years.
Hmm.
Like, our taxes are not going to the American people.
No. No, they are going to the military and foreign militaries. Or just foreign nations in general. The federal tax, at least.
Yeah.
State taxes are going to fund leering centers and
It's going into politician pockets is what it is. It's a whole money laundering scheme.
yeah.
They're stealing all of our money to line their pockets and fund genocides across other nations.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I think that's the only thing I can think of a protest that would actually work.
Yeah.
But other than that, there's really not a lot of options.
No.
There has to be a culture change. I mean, let's not pretend that this is just shocking. You know?
I think for the most part, most people already knew this.
Right. Evil has always been around. We know that there's evil people, especially in our culture. I mean, this is a culture that has worshipped sex, money, and power. Well, this is the harvest.
Yeah.
It's so Epstein doesn't just fall into place. Like, there has to be cultural grooming
Mm-hmm.
for this stuff to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
In a godless society, this is what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you as an individual can't really do much to fight this whole corrupt system. But if you as an individual want to make a difference, you look to how can you change culture? And you have to start small and you build that out.
Mm-hmm.
So
what does that look like?
First thing that looks like is you with your own family. So you raise your kids right. Then you work out to joining a community. Then that community then has impact on a greater surrounding community and so forth. So it has to start small.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have a playbook for how to do that. But
yeah, and this stuff also doesn't take 10 years.
No.
This
no,
stuff
this will
takes
take
generations.
Yeah, I don't totally disagree with that, but that doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't understand how you could be okay with this type of stuff and knowingly essentially pay for it, fund it.
So what do
Because
you
the
do?
American person is essentially funding this type of behavior.
Yeah.
And we're essentially allowing...
Nobody wants to be the first person to get their door kicked in by the IRS and have all their assets stolen from them on top of their finances as well, though.
True.
Because how do you organize something like that? I mean, somebody's going to do it, and then they're just going to get arrested and all their stuff taken from them, and they're going to be ruined for the rest of their lives. So being able to organize that on a mass scale, nobody wants to be the first person to try it, you know?
Right. And this goes back to for me, it all feels like it goes back to that in the Bible when it talks about like weak men not doing anything, you're essentially allowing evil to flourish. And so how can you be a Christian and be okay with this kind of stuff and not trying to do something about it? Like, it doesn't... I can't wrap my brain around it.
Yeah.
Like, do we honestly think, as Christians, that, like, this is something that Jesus would be okay with and be like...
No, of course not.
Right.
I don't feel like there's a historical playbook for this, though. this particular situation, I guess. I don't know, maybe there has been, but
Well, there is, but no one wants to talk about it. And not saying that that situation in 1940s or whenever that started, if that was the right way to go about it, but
yeah,
who knows what is actually true about that situation, knowing who wrote all the history books.
right.
Well, there's a couple ways to look at it.
It's also happened multiple times throughout history.
So, a couple ways to look at it. You can either be offensive about it or you can be defensive about it. If you're going to be offensive about it, then you have to actually be offensive to the predators. And how can you do that? Well, you can either do it with direct force or you can do that through the law. Well, if you do that through the law, we know that this system is corrupt because a lot of the people in the system are involved with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's not necessarily an option. Being offensive with a direct force to these people, well, I don't think that's right either. Unless you have direct evidence and you can actually use the law to inflict punishment, like a capital punishment, then, you can't just go around, swinging the axe to whoever you feel like it.
Right, yeah.
So then the other option is defense. You have to then create systems in place that replace the current systems.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't do that on a large scale, so it has to start small.
Mm-hmm.
So that means instead of trying to directly persecute the predators, you are, setting up systems in place to help the victims. And so you're going about it that way. I don't think that there's a perfect way to fix this. I mean, like Mitchell said, it would take generations to fix a system that is corrupt like this. But if you want to do something, you just have to start something, or else you're going to get into this trap of it's too big for me to do anything, and then you're not going to do anything at all.
And I think this is also part of why they're allowing us to see this type of stuff. I think there's an element of they want you to feel hopeless.
Right?
They want you to
Mhm.
feel defeated, where they want whoever's in charge, whoever's, controlling these type of rings, they want you to feel like there's nothing you can do about it and morally or mentally defeat the American public.
Yeah.
And there was a time and a day in this country where there would have been bodies stacked already. And maybe that's not the time that we live in anymore, but how far does it have to go before it becomes that? Like, you'd like to think eventually that people would get sick and tired of stuff.
Yeah, I don't think that it will until people's direct lives are impacted by it, though.
Like, what's it gonna have to take? Like, they start throwing people in camps?
Yeah, or we get to a point where people are no longer able to afford their Netflix subscription and eat McDonald's every day or whatever. I mean, like, if
We're already pretty close to that.
I don't think so, but I think once it gets to the point where, we as Americans are completely unable to access the modern luxuries that we enjoy today, like it gets that bad, or whatever.
Well,
Once people get uncomfortable.
I don't think the problem with that, though, is I don't think it'll ever come to that because
No, they have to keep us comfortable because they know historically once people start losing their creature comforts, well, now it's like, okay, well, I don't have anything to lose, so screw it.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen like the plan for, or heard about the plan for, like, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy, and like that whole agenda. And where people say that, foreign influences, people in that circle have said we're just going to bleed America dry and we're going to move on to the next country.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it once it gets to the point where like people aren't able to afford something, or it gets to the point where like no one can really do anything at all. It's gonna be a whole false flag thing. Like they're just gonna they're gonna start bombing cities in America and they're gonna start blaming it on someone else. And the cycle starts over. And it's gonna come, here comes the next wave of the Patriot Act. Patriot Act 2.
Mm-hmm.
Mass surveillance. Then drone technology takes off. Now they have drones that know everything that you're doing at all times.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I think mass across the board, most Americans, I would go as far as say like 80% of Americans are just sick of it.
Yeah.
We're just sick of living in the system that we're currently in.
I think that's probably a fair percentage. And it's across the board, too. I think both sides of the political spectrum feel that way.
Yeah. I don't know how, like, what does it
But
take?
I think that's the point, though. I think they need to keep, everybody of every political persuasion separated and at each other's throats, because if we start to realize that, maybe my fellow American, he may have different fiscal policy than me. He may have different views on immigration than me. He may not believe that, the Second Amendment is absolute, whatever. But we actually agree that this needs to end. They need to keep us at each other's throats, because if we start agreeing on stuff, then it really becomes an issue for them.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that, and I guess that's kind of like the whole point of everything. Is our main message, I would say, from this situation is like try to ignore the fake stuff. Like this should be America's number one priority.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an American, you're a true American. Yes, there's other problems in America right now currently, but this has to be the number one issue that we have. That we're allowing foreign governments complete control over every decision maker in America and our policies and what we do with American tax dollars.
Mm-hmm.
They control all of that decision making. On top of that, in order for you to become a decision maker in America, it's almost a requirement that you are compromised in some way, just to get in a position.
Yeah, to get your foot in the door.
To further be controlled.
Mm-hmm.
So we've said it for years, but like it's just now openly being admitted that all the people, the powerful people, the rich elites that run this country are all compromised and controlled by foreign elements and intelligence agencies. And they're all sick. They're all sick.
Mm-hmm.
Evil. They're straight up evil. It's straight up evil.
No other way to put it.
There's no other way to put that. They're straight up evil. That has to be, we all have to come together and be like, all right, number one priority. We're making a list of our American priorities everyone's on board with this one thing. We
Mhm.
have to focus on this. Don't let them distract you with this thing over here,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Like I know we have problems everywhere else. It sucks everywhere else. If we don't get this under control, our country's gone.
Right.
Like America as we know it is already dwindling by the day.
Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah.
it's even savable at this point.
I think it is. I'm not a black pillar. I think that there's always highs and lows. I mean, America's had dark times in its past, and it will continue to have dark times in its future, but we always make it through. I think humanity always makes a way.
I think yes. And when we talk about America being lost, I would say I would speak for all of us when I'm not saying America, the idea of America. I think all of us here believe in the idea of America, and we love our fellow Americans,
Mhm.
and just the foundation that this country was built on, and the ideals that it was created to have. We all believe in that, but the current government and the current system, I'm totally black belt on. Like we cannot
Yeah.
exist
Yeah.
much longer within the current American government.
No, I totally get
the
that.
foundation of America. I'll always believe in, and I'll always fight for.
Mm-hmm.
I'll fight for the American ideals and the idea of America. I will not fight for the government.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's basically exactly how I'd say it, for sure.
So, like, at what point, in my mind, how does it ever go from, like, okay, if the government does not want to conduct a legitimate investigation, they can't. They're actually compromised. They actually cannot do it because there's powers that be. They're either afraid for their life, afraid of losing power, or afraid of being criminalized.
It takes
When do the American people, like, I feel like the American people have to take over the investigation. Is like, how do you even go about doing that?
So there are good people that are doing um a lot of cool things. I'd say James O'Keefe is a big one.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys follow his work. For those of you who don't know who James O'Keefe is, he's basically just a journalist that he hires people to go undercover. He does fake dates for he has people go on fake dates with
He
people in the
essentially
FBI or whatever, and
he
they go undercover.
honeypots the intelligence agencies.
Yeah,
He plays their own game.
yeah. So there was one recently that he uh, did about the Minnesota fraud case. There was an FBI agent that was on a date with one of James O'Keefe's honeypots, and he said basically nothing's going to come of it. So that was interesting. But basically, I think people like James O'Keefe getting that information through less than conventional means are doing a lot of good work. And there's plenty of examples of this, all over the place. Look, if you go down a little bit, keep going. Yeah, so I have a couple of examples of people doing something similar of, say going undercover or civilians picking up the pieces of what the government tried to do or refused to do and doing it themselves to produce results. So, the Golden State Killer. So, a serial rapist and murderer evaded capture for decades as cases went cold. In the 2010s, civilian genealogists and investigators used public DNA databases to identify a suspect through relatives. Law enforcement re entered the case using this new lead, resulting in an arrest in 2018 and a life sentence in 2020. So there are examples of, the government either being uncooperative or they just throw their hands up and say, we don't know what to do. It's cold. We're stopping the investigation. And civilians picking it up and doing their own work on it and figuring it out themselves and allowing that information to be used by the government to pick up that case again and get the desired result of justice. So I think people like James O'Keefe are doing good work to help do that kind of stuff, things that the government is either lying about, omitting, they don't care, they have no interest in, continuing to do investigations on things. People will, where there's a market, people will fill in the gaps. So I think that the same thing will happen here.
Do you think the same thing will happen? Well,
It
for
takes
me,
a few good people, it takes a few good people to infiltrate these things, or to, say there's one good person in the FBI who really feels passionately about this.
They'll die. They'll get killed.
Okay, but
that already happened in Mexico recently.
I get that, but there will come a point where people will start, saying, hey, this is for the greater good, whatever. I mean, I feel like there's examples all over history of people doing that, where they say, I may suffer for this, but I feel passionately about it, and whatever happens, happens, and I want a good result for this. If that means my own demise, so be it. I mean, think about why, young men feel so passionately about war.
Yeah. I mean, there is plenty of good people that are wanting to do the right thing, like James O'Keefe. There's a market, there's a power vacuum of people and their desire for true American unbiased journalism, where people are trying to actually investigate real stuff.
There needs to be incentive too.
They're also fighting a counter war against current media.
Yeah.
I mean, we just saw it with Nick Shirley. And he exposed that stuff. He, essentially makes a name for himself, instantly gets torn down by the media.
Yeah, but who cares about them? Nobody cares about, the big media anymore. Like they have all been exposed as liars, frauds,
This is true.
evil people, and literally nobody trusts the big name media companies anymore. They ruined their reputation during COVID, and they have not and will not recover it. That's just how it is.
Think about
our generation is far too aware of the shenanigans to put up with that anymore. So they're basically irrelevant.
Think about when we're talking about people taking over investigations and stuff. Think about all the people who are doing the undercover child predator exposing things, like Chris Hansen and stuff.
Yeah.
They get handicapped at some point. They can provide as much evidence as they want.
Yeah.
Everything that they have as evidence gets thrown out in court. There's already a precedent for throwing independent investigations out. And
yeah, and unfortunately it has to be done very specifically, and within. That scared me. For those that, if that didn't get picked up on mic, Jax made a very strange noise.
He's a barcolepsy dude.
Yeah, so yes, the investigations into that kind of stuff, and specifically they have to be very strict and follow the guidelines very tightly. Otherwise, yeah, evidence does get omitted and thrown out because it can't be used because it wasn't done through proper means or whatever. So I get that. But at least what it does is it exposes the truth to the public, and you know,
So on this scale, how would that look? Like, do you have to literally, because it's like pulling teeth trying to like get these politicians to do their job. Like,
I don't
do
think
you,
I don't think anything is going to come of the politicians. I mean, you might get one or two that stands up there and says, "Yeah, we really need this." But
like, do we have to have like people just like following around Pam Bondi and Kash Patel and everything everywhere they go? Like, there's a group outside their house, like just chanting "resign, resign, resign," like bullying these people that are not going to actually do their jobs.
bullying does work.
Bullying does work. I mean, would that work?
Maybe. I mean,
If you just are
I'll
straight
tell
up
you what, if I couldn't sleep because people were screaming and blowing air horns outside of my house all night, you would go crazy after a while.
trying to like just tell them to resign and just until we get one guy who's like, yeah, we're doing this.
Yeah. I mean,
Is that what
no,
it
we are
takes?
not. We are not.
The problem is the people that are on the right and the people that like actually care about this stuff and like this is on their high priority. Like, we also have jobs.
Yeah, the right is traditionally not very well known for being able to organize effectively, but I do agree it's because we have other bigger things to worry about, like feeding our families
I think it's
and
because there's no
taking care of our
funding.
children.
I think there's no funding because we see like with the Minnesota protests, those people are all paid to be there.
I think a lot of them are there because they genuinely are true believers that we should let as many third worlders into this nation as possible. I think there actually is lots of them brainwashed into believing that. I would say that it's probably most. Is there people that are paid to be there? Absolutely.
Yeah, I think
I don't know what the percentage is, but
I think we just need to get those people who already don't have jobs and just we can all agree that this is bad.
yeah.
This is bad. Like, across the board, everyone in America, we can agree that this is bad. This should be number one priority. We should have the people who already are going to these protests.
Mm.
We need to get funding behind the people who don't have jobs that are paid to go to these protests. We need to send them to protest.
Dude, what we need to do is get spend like $100 on like noisemakers from Dollar General and like give like a couple of 12 packs to a pack of hobos and have them like follow Pam Bondi around and yell at her.
Dude, you know how fast that would become like some sort of law? Like, they would just start gunning people down in the streets so fast. Dude.
By the way, for YouTube's moderation system, we are not telling people to go follow around government officials and bully them at their own house or gang stalk them. That would not leave my mouth. That's not good. So I wouldn't do that. Don't do it.
Is that even illegal?
I don't know,
It's
but
probably harassment.
yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Don't do it.
It's harassment?
Probably.
That's so stupid. Then there's nothing. We have nothing to do. Like, protesting.
No, you can. I think you can protest outside of their house.
Yeah, you can, but you can't follow them around 24/7. And also, at some point, you got city noise ordinance.
Yeah,
that you'd have
I
to
mean,
follow.
they'll
and-
figure. There's so many laws in the
Yeah,
books. They will find a way to put you in jail for the night and tell you to knock it off. But
Right.
I mean, the leftists are pretty good at it. I mean,
We get away with
they
it
get
all the
arrested
time.
and released all the time.
Right.
So there is a way.
I mean, yeah, it's illegal to block traffic too, but you see that happen all the time.
Yeah. So there is a way. Where there is a will, there is a way. So
But we shouldn't be looking to do something illegal either.
yeah, don't break the law. But
At what point are the laws just
I am saying don't break the law for the YouTube moderation system strictly. I don't care what you do. But
yeah,
I'm saying that so that we don't get in trouble.
yeah,
I am not recommending people break the law.
right. I'm saying hypothetically, at what point in Minecraft Do
Well, if the
people
law,
just like
if the
how
law is unjust,
at what point? Well, it's already in the Constitution.
I'm saying if the law is unjust, then I don't feel people have an obligation to follow it. In fact, I believe that they have an obligation to disobey unjust laws. What I'm saying is, don't break the law for my own sake in a court hearing.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm just deny everything that they say anyway. Um, but like the thing that blows my mind is it's already in the Constitution. Like the whole idea of the Constitution is if the whole way that the government was intended to be set up, if the government gets out of hand, the people have the right, it's right in there, to force the people that are running the government that have gotten it out of hand, the people have the right to reinstall a new government.
The first way of doing that is the First Amendment. So protest, outcry, all that stuff. That was the first way that the founders saw as a recourse to fixing the nation's government was their freedom of speech. That was the first way. And the second way would be the Second Amendment. If the first one doesn't work, I guess we have the second. We don't want it to get to the second. So
Nobody wants to get it. Like there's no
So,
way with
that's
the
what I'm
amount of
saying.
surveillance that's out there. There's no way you could even organize something like that. Like I don't think that there's a way you could even. I don't even think it's feasibly possible. Like there'd be way too many people that would die.
Yeah.
But is that the only way that it would realistically change?
Well, I mean, not really. I mean, there is the first option, but it's worth a shot, you know. Once you've exhausted all means.
Like, aren't we already using the First Amendment? Like everyone, no one wants this. Like everyone,
Yeah, nobody wants it, but nobody is actually making people's lives miserable by blowing blowhorns and stuff at them while they are working in their offices and stuff like that.
Like I want to see like these like reporters, like every single question is like, when are you gonna resign? And that's the only question they ask. They just constantly,
Yeah.
like these people who are not gonna do their jobs. They should. The only thing that they should be thinking about on a daily basis, every day that they're working, they should be thinking about like, everyone hates me because I am not doing my job and I'm not
Well, they are
performing to the standard that
well, to them
I'm employed.
they might be doing their job. It might be their job to shut up and not do anything about it. It's just who do they follow? You know? They may not see it as serving the American people as their job. They may see it as upholding their friends' safety and money as their job. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of options. I'm not a doom pillar. We in fact enjoy the white pill on this channel. And you know what I say? I say have kids, make a family. Do good in your community. Love your neighbor. Grow some food. Learn how to shoot. Have fun. Enjoy God's earth. And don't dwell on all the bad things that don't affect your life directly. Those are basic rules, I think, that will improve your life.
I'm trying to get there, man. Trying to get there. I'm trying to get there. I just don't see it.
Judgment is coming.
Yeah.
It's coming, and it's gonna be from the judge that sees all, knows
We still
all.
have to fight.
Right. That doesn't mean you sit back and you
Yeah.
know, do nothing. But
Just
we're called to justice in the here and now. But also, God brings judgment. in his way, in his time.
Yeah.
And he calls us to faithfulness. That's what we're called for. We're not called to win any battles because he's already
We're
won
called
them
to
for us,
oppose evil.
which is faithfulness.
Right.
You know, and that starts with the individual, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying any of those things are a bad thing. I'm just that's all good stuff. But what specifically in this situation is opposing evil? What does that look like? Obviously, you don't want to be like a la carte, just lopping people's heads off left and right. Like that's probably not right either. And just going around, everyone just starts killing everyone. That's not good either.
Well, don't you think we're doing it? We're doing a small part of it, bringing awareness, talking about it, shining a light on it. I mean, what more can you do as an individual? You know,
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
maybe this is it. Maybe this is what we can do. And you have to be okay with that, you know. Because acting or thinking that you can change everything by yourself only leads to disappointment and frustration, you know. Doing what you can and understanding that, you know, you as an individual, you can't change the whole world by yourself.
I think something that needs to be said that we all can get behind is that people like this, if we find out for sure that there's a group of people that are eating babies, newborn babies, and mutilating children in ritual sacrifices, those people need to be brought to justice immediately. And I don't think that that is something for me that you have decided that that's your life that you want to live and go down, and you just don't
You don't
get to
amongst
you
civilized
don't get to
creatures.
you are not
You're not meant for a civilized society.
you're not human anymore. I think that's justified that you are, you know, justice looks like, you know, you go to the big man upstairs and he decides what to do with you. Right? Those people cannot exist amongst
No,
us.
they cannot exist on this planet.
That's a level of evil that is.
Yeah, we are not allowed to tolerate that.
No, I'm not saying look at the files and go find everyone that's in there and just like that's not what I'm saying. I think there needs to be some.
You need to be proven beyond a shadow of doubt. I mean, yes.
But once these people are proven beyond a shadow of doubt that they are part of this, they no longer deserve life. Like that's
and I don't know, I guess we'll find out, won't we?
I guess. Maybe.
Yeah. You know, you pray, you hope for the best. You talk about it, shine a light on it.
Oh man, it's so disgusting.
Why don't we end this with a white pill? White pills.
It doesn't feel like a white pill episode. What's the middle ground?
It's a middle ground?
Yeah.
I think the middle ground is
Is there like a dark gray pill? Can I be on a dark gray pill?
dark gray pill. I think the dark gray pill is
not black pill.
This continues, but America still succeeds and exists, and everybody is blissfully ignorant, and you can continue to live your life. Maybe you know that people do bad things, but it doesn't affect you personally. I think that's probably the dark gray pill, if I were to guess. The black pill is that we just burn everything to the ground, and I think the white pill is Christ is Lord, and He wins in the end. So do what you can to make your life and your community's lives better, and have faith.
Well, for you, I would say look at, the life of King David, and specifically Psalms.
Start cutting off foreskins?
No. I'm saying he is a man that's described as a man after God's own heart. He personally did a lot of wickedness. He is far from a perfect man. But go read the Psalms. You'll see that there are Psalms that he wrote of extreme praise to the Lord. There's also Psalms of extreme lament and sorrow and anger. But it's a whole spectrum. And it's okay to understand, or understand that it's okay to be in that wide range of emotion.
Yeah.
That just because the world is wicked and evil and that we can't comprehend how to deal with it doesn't mean that God doesn't have a plan in place. And there's going to be seasons where all you can think to do is praise and worship Him. And there's going to be seasons where all you can think to do is lament.
Use those times to draw yourself nearer to the Lord.
Right.
And learn what lessons He's trying to teach you. Learn how to use that pain and suffering as a way to draw near to Him,
Right. And Ephesians 2, I think, lays it out perfectly. You were dead in the trespasses and sins in which you once walked. And you're following the course of this world and following the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that is at work in the sons of disobedience. That's kind of our truth for how we began. But that's not where it stops. It goes on to talk about, but God intervenes because of His great mercy in which He has this greatness of love for us. And that's true for all of us.
Yeah. Boom. White pill. Yeah.
But it's not easy.
No, it's
right?
not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not easy, but you take your days as they come and you make it work. Yeah. Well, guys,
How long have we been recording?
2.5.
The first half doesn't. We weren't recording.
Yeah, I think we probably more like 2.
a long, awkward silence.
Yeah.
We cut
You ready
that
for
post.
something fun?
Fun?
Yeah, totally unrelated.
What's that?
Just listing off a couple things.
Are we doing that?
Kind of want to. It's completely unrelated. Do you have some?
I haven't thought, yeah.
That's a bummer. Some really good ones. Ones that are still used today. All right, this is getting long and awkward. It's
We
highly,
can cut that.
it's highly contested within the ranks. We leave it up to the viewers.
Leave it up to the viewers.
Yeah. Did you have anything else?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we covered a lot. My piece has been said. Do you have anything else?
No, I mean, I feel like we didn't really cover any of the newer stuff. Like, there's a lot of stuff with, like, the ball stuff and, like, the satanic stuff.
Yeah, it's there's a lot, but it's also so like new, and like nobody really knows everything going on with that, and at the same time,
It's implied, right?
yeah,
I mean, specifically, we're talking about what is confirmed is one of Jeffrey Epstein's, like, his bank accounts. One of them was named Ball.
Yeah.
Luke, could you
is it Ball or Bail?
bail?
I hear both.
Yeah.
Bail or ball, but it's Baal.
Yeah.
Could you give us a little refresher on who that is supposed to be?
Well, Baal or Baal is, I say Baal, is a Old Testament god that was worshipped by different pagan communities around the state of Israel. Ultimately, Israel did fall into idol worship many different times, and Baal was one of the demons that they would worship. But it's often described, child sacrifice was a big way to appease the demon Baal. Or they usually would make carved images of said demon, and worship him on the high places. And you can look at, like, the Kings and the Chronicles, and it talks a lot about how these demons, and they go by many different names. Baal is just one of them. But, I mean, they're all kind of the same. If you look at extra biblical stuff like the Book of Enoch, which, there's debate if it's true or not. I kind of lean more of it's not, but it talks about specifics of different demons, or fallen angels, or the Watchers, or stuff like that. But in the Bible, they kind of lump all gods together, little g gods, and they're all kind of the same, of like, cutting yourself, or, sacrificing babies or humans or whatever. And it's just dark practices, it's just like any other. But yeah, I mean, if you're not worshiping the one true God, all these other gods, little g gods, they're just simply demons trying to get control of you, trying to draw you away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the reason why I wanted to point it out is because it's been said, and you'll see it online where people are talking about like, oh, the people that have been saying the government is run by satanic, child sacrificing, pedophiles is true. And then you read the detractors saying, well, like it's not confirmed. And they have an excuse for every single one of these things. And like you have victims saying, children are being forced to have newborns and those newborns are killed. And then you have Jeffrey emailing back and forth with people, comparing babies to cream cheese. And then you have like pictures of like some very disturbing images of like redacted photos with something that looks like a baby, like in between like two like uncooked like chickens, and like all that stuff. And but there's an excuse for every single one. Like, oh, that thing was fake, or that thing was just that was thrown in. Like they have to keep a file on something that someone sent an image to them of. Like the FBI had to keep that picture of the what looks to be a baby. It was fake, but we had to keep it in the files. And then you have, Jeffrey Epstein talking about like babies tasting like cream cheese and like weird references. And it's just like, oh, they're just weird. There's too many coincidences. And the fact that one of his bank accounts was named Ball. Like, there's too many coincidences for it to be just thrown out as like, oh, this is just like, it's just not a thing.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's a coincidence. It's intentional.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and I think that
I would be cautious on the whole his bank account being named Bail. I've been seeing stuff go around that it might not be. That might be a misconception. And if you look up Ball or Bail in the search, like a lot of stuff that comes up is actually BAL1, BAA1, and for like documenting stuff or whatever. So it's not actually BAAL or whatever it is. But yes, the only time that it comes up is that bank account thing. But I thought it was something about like there's a name of a bank or something like that. It's not specifically his bank account.
Yeah.
However, I just want to make sure we're.
I think that
I don't.
But
think
that
changes
doesn't change anything though. But I'm just making sure we're not saying something. That's
I think that
not entirely true.
The thing is, like, there's always some excuse, right? There's always one thing that's like, oh, well, this one thing, this changes the whole thing. How many of those things come together and make it not so much look coincidental anymore? You know what I mean? Like, you can only have so many coincidences before it's like, all right, this isn't really a coincidence.
Yeah, and I think that to believe that the most powerful people on the planet are not worshippers of demons and stuff like that, or whatever is. I think that plenty of them do. I mean, people have been worshiping demons for literally ever since our existence. So I can't possibly imagine that we don't still do it today, that people don't still do it today. And I would guess that probably the most powerful among us gain that power by less than moral means.
Well, I think the thing that people misconstrue about that is I think it's probably more popular than people would think, because I think when you say Satan worshipers or people who are in a satanic cult think that they're just like worshiping Satan or demons all the time, when like it's more of, if you look into like the satanic cults and stuff, it's not so much about worshiping Satan as much as it is about them worshiping themselves.
Yeah.
And so if you think about it, if you rich elite people think that they own everything, they control everything, they think they're gods walking among us. Like, that's not far of a reach to be like they worship themselves, you know? And then how
Yeah.
far does that
For
go?
sure. I mean, I definitely think that these people get a big head, you know, considering they have achieved unbelievable success and power and wealth. You know, it would be easy to get into the headspace that you are a god in your own world or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a far reach at all.
right.
So
And we also didn't cover the fact that, like, there's new images showing up that, you know, Jeffrey Epstein showed up in Tel Aviv yesterday. Did you see any of this stuff?
mm-mm.
Like, yesterday, like, brand new.
He showed up in Tel Aviv yesterday, so
There's
he's
a-
alive in Tel Aviv right now.
There was a picture, yeah, and, like, something about, like, his Fortnite account was active until, like, yesterday.
Oh, I did see the Fortnite account, which was pretty interesting.
Yeah. And the picture, I don't know if it's even real or not, and who knows how
It's
to
so hard to tell nowadays with AI and stuff like that. It's really
I think I watched a quick video right before you guys got to my house of Asmongold reacting to some of the stuff. Can you go into the Safari, Luke, and pull up the YouTube? I think I have the video pulled up. Go to Safari. Yeah, it's already pulled up. Yeah, full screen that. And if you don't know
Jeffrey
what
Epstein is still alive. In the Epstein files, there's a receipt from YouTube where his username is
Littlest Jeff 1.
Hello, Littlest Jeff 1. Wait, Littlest Jeff 1. There was a charge in May 2019, but he died in August. Wait, Chapter 5, Season 1. Wait, that was recent. Epstein's Fortnite account is active in Israel? No. Fortnite tracker. All right, gentlemen, we have the Fortnite account right now. Let's pull it up. The profile has just been made private. Wait a minute. Can I look at this on Wayback Machine? It has not archived that URL. Epstein just privated his account. I have screenshots of his stats confirming he's alive. How is this proof? Okay, so this is why people think that it's Jeffrey Epstein. He got a charge for $25 for V-Bucks on Fortnite. And this was on May 7th, 2019. And
Okay,
this
that's
is, again,
actually
keep in mind,
crazy.
justice.gov. This is the government website for Jeffrey Epstein right here. And this is Littlest Jeff with jeevacation@gmail.com. It could be a troll, but how could it be a troll if they did it so far in advance? The account isn't brand new. It was discovered.
Yeah.
My guy faked his death and immediately started playing Fortnite. Fortnite Chapter 1, Season 10 ran from August 1st to October 2019. Crazy. Get the screenshot of him playing Season 6 before it's too late. Where are the other screenshots of this? I want to see it. It says I can't edit the post. Where's the imager link? Matches. So he and wait, this is Season 4, and he had an 8% win rate? Look at Chapter 3, Season
So he
17. 17% win rate? He has kids playing for him? He's in Tel Aviv playing Fortnite. This could be wait, this is his WoW account? Wait a minute.
Context.
This is the Department of Justice. Jeffrey Epstein played WoW. And he was a Wrath baby. This was right before Cataclysm. Wait a minute. No. He was Horde? I knew it, guys. I knew it all along. He has heirlooms? Yes, he has heirlooms, which means that this is an alt. This is an alt character. This is Epstein, isn't it? Dude, who is this guy? Someone posted the photo without the beard on your Discord. Guys, okay, I'm gonna save this photo though. So, which one is better? Okay, that's a better photo. And why does it not? What the fuck? Why is it not? Why is it doing this? Like, what the fuck? The fuck? The fuck? Guys? Guys, are they
The
are
chat
they in?
is killing me.
Yeah, I'm
Israel
really confused
strikes
here.
again.
What's going on with this?
Yeah, that was the picture that came out yesterday. I think he looks more like him with the beard. We'll never be able to tell if that's AI or not.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's gotten so good nowadays. It's literally impossible to tell. The Fortnite thing is interesting. I don't know, like, let some little kid get a hold of his Instagram or whatever, and or not Instagram, Fortnite. He's playing on there. Or, why was he playing Fortnite
Well,
in a World of Warcraft?
that's the thing that like people who like knew this guy or whatever before, they're like, he wasn't really that smart. Like they kind of all like, you know, his whole thing was he was a wealthy financier and like knew how to move money and stuff, but like people who are like in that world are like, yeah, he was like just an idiot and no one knew how he got so much money.
Blackmail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't
Fascinating.
surprise me if he wasn't dead. I mean, that wouldn't shock any of us at all.
No, it would not.
And of course, he would definitely be in Tel Aviv. That would be the place that he would be.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And I
No doubt
think
about it.
if the other people are right about him being an idiot, I think the first thing he would do would be playing Fortnite. And there was other things about him
Why
he got banned
Fortnite?
from like Xbox Live or something.
Yeah.
He got banned or something.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think I saw somebody got banned on Xbox or whatever for like language or whatever. I'm pretty sure. Somebody was saying there's a greater than zero possibility that Jeffrey Epstein got banned from Xbox communication for calling somebody the N-word on COD. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, dude, he liked that N-word a lot, too, if you go and look through the emails. But,
Really?
yeah, there was also someone saying, like, it happened around the same time that the Bill Gates thing came up with him trying to get, like, stuff to, like, sneak to his wife.
Yeah.
For the SDI thing. So there's people saying, like, Bill Gates, like, banned Jeffrey Epstein because of the whole Russian girl situation.
No.
I saw that theory floating around. I'm like,
bro, one of your girls gave me an STD, and now I have to ban you. No more using my communications.
It said that the ban was part of an agreement between Microsoft and the New York Attorney General, initiated in 2012, to remove registered sex offenders from the gaming platform to protect minors.
Yeah, that checks out, honestly.
again, so Microsoft,
Why can't Roblox do that?
Bill Gates kicked off Jeffrey Epstein because he was known as a child sex trafficker.
But he still
went to meet him to do philanthropy projects.
You can't, sir. You cannot use Xbox Live, but I will still become your business partner.
Have you ever tried Roblox?
Yeah, have you ever?
Dude, that out of all the things that would not surprise me, that would surprise me.
If
the
Roblox is a Jeffrey Epstein produced service, I would actually not be shocked.
Dude, not to mention like all the stuff with Ghislaine Maxwell being like the #1 like Reddit mod or something like that.
Yeah.
All that stuff and like top like contributor to Reddit for like ever since its inception, and then the day that she got arrested, it just stopped.
Immediately stopped. Yeah, that's a little interesting.
Yeah.
You see that?
Mm-mm.
You didn't know about that?
Dude,
Mm-mm.
Ghislaine
First time I'm hearing
Maxwell
about it.
was the top contributor on Reddit, like the Reddit user.
And like her name is like totally not conspicuous at all. It's like Maxwell Hill.
Yeah, it was just some random Reddit account that was the top contributor on Reddit, and the
She
day
was like
that
the #1 Reddit mod or something like
yeah,
that.
and the day that she was arrested, all activity ceased.
Weird.
Very strange,
So what was the activity on Reddit?
dude. Everything.
And she was just like posting stuff. Like, I think there was like political posts and like stuff. I don't know. You'd have to.
However,
look
it
up.
is interesting to think that it's very possible. I would almost say certain that she was the top user on Reddit.
And then didn't Jeffrey Epstein have something to do with like 4chan, or wasn't there some other like community like chat thing?
Yeah, it was. I believe the user or the creator of 4chan, something with his image board. I think his image board was created like the day him and Jeff met, or something like that.
There was some other like chat thing that Epstein was involved with.
Yeah,
They were up to a lot of stuff.
a lot.
And do you think? Here's the other thing. Do you think that this is the only ring like this that exists, or do you think that there's multiple?
Oh, there's multiple. Yeah. I think that this one is probably the big one for the West. I imagine the Eastern nations probably have their own type of thing. Because I feel like the world is kind of split into two parts, the East and the West, and I think that, and probably South America. So I imagine that like the Western nations, so Europe, Australia, United States, Canada. I think that those nations have their own deal, and then I believe probably there's variations of it throughout Asia and South America and stuff like that. So, yeah, probably. I feel like South America, though, is more so the cartel.
Do you think something like this could happen in like China or Russia though?
Yeah, why not?
Absolutely.
But they're like controlled by dictators, you know. Like we don't.
Exactly.
Who are the dictators controlled by? The pedophile rings.
Whoa.
The Prince of the Power of the Air.
Or maybe the. Did you say the Prince of Bel Air?
No, I said the Prince of the Power of the Air.
Well, that wouldn't shock me. That wouldn't shock me either, bro. Have you seen that guy's kids?
The Prince of Bel Air, the spirit that is at work
that's
at
what
the
you
Sons of
said.
Disobedience.
I thought you said the Prince of Bel Air.
Dude, that.
It's too late. It's so late. Yeah, no, I'm almost certain that every culture, every region has something similar. It's a very good, effective way to keep people in line. It is. Having blackmail on them, doing things that would certainly get them killed. Very good way to.
Well, my
keep
whole
people
thing
in
is
line.
like you don't even really need like that in like. Okay, let's just say Russia. Okay, let's say that there was a foreign element of assets that was controlling people within the government. And their government, they don't rely on other branches of government to govern everything else. They just go off of one guy. And if he has a problem with something, that whatever group that exists out there, they just die. And in China, no one says anything bad about the government already because the government just kills them for saying anything negative.
Yes, but I would say it's maybe to keep people accountable within their own circle, maybe.
They're set up by the dictators.
Yeah, it could be. And I'm sure everybody.
Well,
has
that's
some form
different.
of
That's
blackmail.
that would be different than what we have here.
Yes, but it achieves the same end.
Seems so convoluted. I mean, if I was a dictator, it would be so much more work to do it that way versus just like, nope, kill that guy. Like
Yeah.
that's KGB. Get them. I think that would be enough, right?
Well, then how do you keep those guys in line?
Yeah.
You have a different branch of you have the Spetsnaz.
Well, that's
It's like checks and balances, just like more with more vodka and
Yeah.
more violence.
The thing is, like, what's keeping one of those guys to say, "Well, me and you, why don't we just take the throne? He's not going to stop us. He
Well,
uses us to stop everyone else. We'll just take it, and then we can make the decisions."
And then they have bugs in the wall. They can't they wouldn't be able to say it out loud.
Or one guy, then.
One guy,
Yeah.
you could do it.
Second in command gets jealous. He wants to make all the decisions now.
He could do it,
Right.
but he's got
So
easy life.
so he says to
He's
his
not a target.
so he says to his underlings, "Hey man, listen, I want to take power." Guy at the top, kind of a turd. I don't like him. I know you don't like him. He don't let you go see your family. You don't get Christmas off, man. How about this? You help me take power. I'll give you a nice big promotion. You can have all the holidays off you want. Nice cushy job.
I think that's so much more steps to have like a whole like system where like you're like in a pedophile ring, forcing this person to or inviting this person to.
Yeah, I think it only works.
I think it's probably like
only works in a civilized nation.
I think
where
it's probably more like, hey, I trust you. You're my head guy, but also remember, I have a kill switch. If I die, your whole family dies and everyone that you love instantly, and you don't know where that's gonna come from, but it's already set up.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
obviously, if we were dictators, it would be a lot different.
Yeah,
I feel like it'd be a nice dictator.
yeah, I'm totally against dictatorship, but I think I would be a good one. You know,
Yeah, if I had to be. I
yeah.
would be.
If you really wanted me to be one,
would
I
say-
could do it. I
say
would.
Christmas. Nobody works on Christmas.
I'm banning bicyclists immediately.
Yeah,
Outlawed.
bicyclists got to go.
Outlawed. First step one gone. See ya.
Bicyclists and
What?
Bicyclists.
Bicyclist?
Bicyclists.
Bicyclists.
I think it's
Yeah,
that is not how you
bicyclists.
say it.
Cyclists.
Yeah, I think
Bicyclists.
you just say cyclist.
Is bicyclist not a thing? Look it up.
How do you even spell that? I can't even spell real words.
Just say do cyclist with a BI
Dude,
in front of
cyclists
it.
aren't real, and neither is the word.
But BIC.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
BIC.
Chat, is this
Bike.
real?
What? Chet.
Chat.
Bicalist?
What in the? No.
Bro, I said BICY.
No.
BICY.
Get the K out of there, bro. Why would there ever be a K in there?
CLE or ISTS.
Oh my gosh. What is the meaning of bicyclist?
Yeah. Bicyclist is a real word.
You're right.
Okay.
No.
Looks over here thinking I'm retarded.
I think it's cyclist. Right there. Next one. Is it bicyclist or cyclist?
Yes, it uses both. Boom.
Nah.
Yes.
Not real.
I will concede and say cyclist is probably a little bit better of a word, but bicyclist
I would say
is a
infinitely
word.
better.
It is a word
All right.
that uses the same meaning.
Yeah.
What were we
cyclist made
talking
up.
about?
If we were dictators, what we would do.
Oh, I would say that we need to get rid of pickles. I think that pickles
What?
are no longer in existence. Anybody who tries importing pickles gets the death penalty. And
Weird.
if you were caught turning cucumbers into pickles at home, you get treated just like the moonshiners of days of old, and you get thrown in jail.
Oh my gosh. You would be a horrible dictator.
No, I'm a benevolent, kind dictator saving the world from pickles.
I'm a benevolent. I am saving the world from cyclists and pickles.
Yes.
No, I would ban people driving over the age of 65. I think that's completely unnecessary.
I think that even if I am not dictator, I think I'm going to actually start a petition to do that, because I think that's actually a good idea that we need to implement. Like, actually in real life, that needs to be a law.
Yeah, no,
that
for
and
sure.
women don't get to drive either.
Oh, the 19th Amendment, gone. See ya.
See ya.
That's way out the window. I better see that amendment rescinded. That paperwork better be on my desk when I show up.
Show up to the White House.
It better be on my desk as soon as
I want that.
I walk in the office.
I want the honorary paper shredder to throw that thing in there.
I want a paper shredder made out of gold. Luke, what would you do?
I'm thinking.
Yeah, what would you do if you're a dictator?
What would be the most?
I would probably mandate that Costco has more parking spots. There's way too many times.
Yeah.
I could not find a parking spot at Costco.
Dude, especially in the wintertime when you got to park a mile away.
How much bigger can the parking lots get?
Dude,
bigger
it's
than
ridiculous.
50 spaces.
Yeah.
That and
or no, I'm a dictator. I would just say no. I get my own parking spot at Costco.
That's way easier.
Yeah, it's way easier.
Yeah.
And then I could say
reserved for the dictator.
Right. I get like prime time spot where the whole warehouse has to be cleared, and I can just walk through there by myself.
Yeah, it's like stores have like specific times allowed for people with like sensory issues or like mobility issues.
That's a thing?
Yeah, but it's just for the dictator to shop.
Right.
I think I low key probably would just do like something similar to Vladimir Putin, where I would just have a whole ice rink filled with people, and then like, no, dude, have you ever heard about this?
No.
He like, there's like some hockey player was talking about like how Putin came in. He like went over to Russia to play hockey in minor leagues, and like he watched Putin. He came into this ice rink, and there was a ton of people there, and he was just on the rink by himself, and he would just go down, skate to one side of like the ice, and just shoot a goal, and like everyone would cheer, and then he'd like go skate down and like do it again on the other side. I'm like, dude, that kind of sounds sick.
You just have your own little posse like clapping and cheering for you, doing mundane things.
Yeah, like how Kim Jong-un is like literally the best golfer in the entire world.
Did you know that Kim Jong-un has there's like 9 different hairstyles that you get to have in North Korea,
and one of them is not the
one
one
of
that he
them is
has.
not his, because nobody you get the death penalty if you get his haircut.
Dude, if you jack his steez, bro, it's over.
I think that what's a totally normal thing that I hate?
Yeah, I wonder what an extremely moral dictator would look like.
Extremely moral?
Moral?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's it? Like, we're gonna have it one day. We're talking about, like...
A dictator has a bad connotation, though. I would just say king.
Yeah, he's king.
Yeah. Which is basically a dictator
with
not
morals.
not a bad connotation. Essentially.
We're not talking about Jesus level. We're talking about like mostly morals with a couple like things.
I'm thinking of like a Midwesterner that just loves everyone and is,
I think that
hey, neighbor.
Like, what would be the worst? Like, I'm trying to think of like someone who's like gets mostly everything right, but there's just like a couple things that are like, this is just kind of not okay.
I think all owners of Kia Souls and Subaru Outbacks will be placed in internment camps and their cars destroyed.
Dude, how about like happy hour
Happy hours all day.
No, it's like it's the same concept. It's like 4 to 5, but it's like happy hour for like drunk driving where you cannot get a DUI between 4 and 5 every single day. Like everything everything else is great. Everything else is great, and then that's just the one rule where it's like it's chaos between 4 and 5. Like everyone sobers inside their house.
Yeah.
They're not driving around at all.
It's like the purge for an hour a day.
It's like people have like the spikes in their front yard so people can't crash into their house and
Like,
stuff.
Oh no, I actually stayed late at work. I can't go home now.
It's like
you're stuck inside at work for an extra hour.
Oh man, it's 4:02. I can't go out now.
Dude, it's like you fly over, it just looks like completely dystopian, and then like you like go and interview someone from that country and like, no, dude, everything's perfect except for just like this one thing. You cannot be outside from 4 to 5.
It like sounds like a horror movie.
It's like a
You
horn.
just don't go outside at this hour.
Dude, that would be a great like parody like horror movie.
Yeah.
That would be someone write that.
Think of like, okay, you have your utopia, but you have one problem with it. What is it? Like I'm trying to think of like the funniest thing a utopia could have as an issue.
I think we already have
Like
it
everybody
on a world scale. I think it's just Jews. Luke didn't laugh at that one. He's trying to hold it in.
I think that I don't know, man. What do you think? You have a utopia. You are the leader of your land. Everything is perfect. Everybody sings Kumbaya. It's fantastic. The sun is always shining. Not a cloudy day. But there's just one thing that you don't advertise on your travel pamphlets.
Oh, something bad that I put in place as the dictator of this
Yeah.
utopia?
Yeah.
You just like one rule that's just like super like
That I just
it's
like
off the wall.
snuck in there.
Yeah,
That's
it's
just
like,
off the wall.
Just to add a little bit of chaos, because if everything's too perfect, then people just like lose it.
It's like a really good family man with like strong morals, everything, but he just really likes drunk driving.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like drunk driving. Yeah, it's got to be something where it's just so
It's
entertaining.
just so
I
wacky.
think okay.
We have to come
I
up with
got
a
one.
name for this.
Where
I
you
got
can
just
one.
like a
just sit back and watch it.
No, I got one.
the almost perfect dictator.
Yeah.
I got one. Okay, so I have my utopia. Everything is perfect. Everybody lives in harmony. Everything is great. There's no crime. It's just perfect. But every single Monday morning before you go to work, you step out your door, you take your socks off, you step in a puddle, and you put your shoes back on, and you have to work.
Dude, wet socks.
That's way
I don't,
too far.
dude.
That's
That's
way too far.
out of line.
That's it though. You only
just
have to do
Monday.
it just the one day, and that's it.
No.
So you have like soggy socks for like half of your workday, and that's it. You're good for the rest of the week.
There's just like a foot bucket like sitting on your front
Gross.
porch.
Yes.
It's like the milkman, but he just delivers your foot bucket.
Everyone in the house, and you have to wear rubber boots, so it, like the water can't go anywhere.
Yeah, you get blisters.
I got it.
Let's hear it.
I would require every single chip brand and every single type of chip bag where 1% or a small percent, maybe not 1%, but a small percent will have one chip in it that is extremely, extremely spicy. So you never know. You're just sitting on the couch enjoying a snack, and you just get that extremely spicy chip. Talking like Carolina Reaper pepper. So
Dude.
it's always a gamble.
Dude,
I just wanna
like
eat
it's just
chips.
completely unbeknownst to you.
Yep.
Dude, I thought you were gonna go like one chip bag just explodes. Like
I was thinking the other thing I was
And,
thinking
like, it
was
doesn't matter, like-
1% of cigarettes are actually just firecrackers.
it just That would, yeah, worth it.
Bet you'd see smoking go down.
Probably. I would think so. What if
Dude, no, you would have like it would be so
I
funny
stopped smoking. I got caught a firecracker in 27.
like the dedicated people just actually don't have any fingers anymore.
yeah, you gotta light it and you just hold it for a few minutes and just let it burn
They
just
just
to make
smoke
sure.
cigarettes with like chopsticks.
they
blow their
they
fingers
like
off.
hold it.
No,
over
or
a
like
lot.
that. It didn't like ladies back in the day. They used to have like
They had, like,
the
the
long
long-
straw
like-
that you
Yeah.
would put your cigarette into.
Yeah.
You'd have to do like that. Keep it away from your mouth,
Dude,
so you don't lose your teeth.
dude.
Yeah, right.
We used to be a cultured folk.
That's what I would do if I was a dictator. Smoke inside again. Do it.
Why not, bro?
Yeah,
I feel like smoking inside is a part of Americana that we've lost. And I feel like culture has degraded significantly since we've been able to not smoke inside.
I saw a video of these guys cleaning out this old house, and you can tell like this old lady smoked in the house
Mhm.
because it was all the walls were brown, and then where they took the pictures off, it was just white.
Dude, that's how my house was.
Well, above the door, you could see a cross, like a crucifix outline, and when they got close, you could even see like where Jesus's arms were.
Oh,
awesome.
dude, that's crazy.
That's how my house was, dude. It took like 7 layers of paint on my living room walls to get it covered up. It was rough.
Yikes!
Yeah.
Yikes!
Because I would paint it white because we wanted our living room to, have white walls, and we would paint them white, and then it would just bleed through the white, and it would turn the paint yellow instantly.
Mhm.
And we tried, I'm not even joking, like 4 layers of white, and we're like, this is not worth it. We're just painting it gray now. So we went with gray. Smokers.
You want to bring that
And
back?
that's what you
huh?
want.
Yeah. Why not?
His best buddy.
You don't
must-
have to smoke.
His best buddy must own a paint company or something.
Yeah, he is like the paint mogul.
Everyone can smoke inside, and I'm also the only one who can sell paint.
Yeah.
I am the paint mogul, and I also conveniently sell 9-volt batteries and smoke detectors. I have the monopoly on them, actually.
And you selectively choose who you.
Oh, I
can
am
s-
very strict on my marketing. I'm very strict on my marketing.
You just are gonna keep the trend going.
Yeah.
You got to. Oh man, I'm sure you guys in the comments will let us know what is your.
Yeah, if
wh-
you were a dictator, what rule would you in place to make your utopia just a little bit more exciting?
What's your almost perfect dictator rule? Give us the best you got. Let us know down in the comments.
Or if you're a dictator, what are you banning instantly?
Yeah, your day one ban.
Yeah.
Remember, play nicely in the comments.
Play nicely in the comments.
Play nicely or play nice?
Play nice.
Sorry, I messed it up. That's why I was never allowed to do it. in the first
Nicely is
place.
also a word,
Mm-hmm.
just like bicyclist.
It just does not sound right. See, if I'm a dictator, I'm banning that word.
Yeah, for sure. I think that goes without.
Bicyclist and bicyclist.
That's
is
part.
out.
That's part of the whole utopia section.
Right. Yeah, that's not even a bad thing.
Then no, that's not even a bad
Yeah.
thing. That is part of
This
making
is a general
everything-
rule.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, guys. Any closing thoughts?
Wise words.
Mm-hmm.
Kick it off.
Wise words. Let's see. Have faith. Do right by your family, your community. Try to make a positive influence on somebody's life, whether it be your kids, your friends, your neighbors. And don't let despair creep in and ruin your life, because it's easy to fall into that, especially nowadays, because, obviously we're surrounded by a lot of dark things, but there is better days ahead, and there's always a sunny day coming up. That's what I leave you with.
Luke.
Stand firm in truth and faithfulness without flinching.
Well,
Think in times like this, we should all remember, taking care of your parents is something that you should, think about as well. Like, once they turn 65, take their keys and throw it in the nearest lake. All right, we'll see you guys in the next one.
thank you. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe, and share with your friends. And if you're a dictator, day one ban, and yeah.
Your chaos rule.
Oh, yeah.
And your chaos
Follow
rule.
us on Instagram. Follow me if you like terrible memes, SDK Rapscallion. And our main thing on Instagram is Culture Warfare.
Thank you, guys. Apologize again for last week, but we will see you next week. So stand by. Thank you.